This happens every fucking week. I don't understand. Oh, now they can hear me. I don't know if you caught the tail end of that. Hopefully not, because this is supposed to be PG-13, but... and now they can hear you. See, I'm not even doing anything. I just have to literally click on the icon and then click properties, and it just goes to the default microphone, which it should always be on, which is the mics that we have. I don't understand why it doesn't work. It doesn't make
It's
sense.
Windows, man. It's Windows.
OBS.
So I wonder if OBS on Linux would actually run better.
I don't know.
Considering it started as a Linux package.
Hello. Testing my audio. It's very faint, very quiet. Definitely not loud enough. We're gonna have to change
It's okay. It'll get loud later.
Yeah, when I get angry at Connie at Lake Park for. Oh dang, it's on
You
the
won't
other.
like me when I'm angry.
All right, let's change this. Maybe up a little bit. Hello, hello, hello. Kind of loud. Now.
Hello. Funny seeing you here.
Okay.
It's not too loud.
Hello. Hi, hi,
Nurse.
hi, 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 hi.
James is getting high.
We're gonna get high, high, high to the midnight sun. None of you are true Paul McCartney fans, so you're not gonna get that reference. Let's see. Hello, I am James Barber, and it's time for another episode of Kosher Talk Podcast.
You
True
lie.
Paul McCartney fans, so you're not gonna get that reference. Let's see. Hello, I am
You're
James
lying.
Barber,
You always lie.
and it's time for another episode.
You know we're not gonna start the show for like.
It's always my fault.
It is always your fault.
It's always my fault, and I always lie. I just suck as a
I don't know
person.
why
I don't
you-
know why you choose to participate in any activities with me, especially such a commitment
I
as
don't
a
either.
podcast. Hello, it's me. Is it me you're looking for?
I don't
I
know
can see
where
it
everyone
in
is.
your eyes.
Hey, there's Pam. We were waiting for you, Pam. It's your fault. You're late.
She was at Busch Gardens. She was. You think I'm joking, and I'm not. That's the...
No, I mean,
She was a patron at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg today. Did you just get off? I'm just kidding. Just get off a ride.
oh my god.
That was one of the greatest comments of all time.
Oh, I couldn't breathe that night.
Ah, I'm gonna get high, high, high.
She had those apple bottom jeans,
Oh my god.
boots with the fur.
Airtime Mike was at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. I'm just gonna guess. Timmy? What? Timmy went to Busch Gardens? I did not know that. He didn't even post about it on his Instagram.
I mean, he's allowed to go to Busch Gardens. I don't forbid him from going.
I forbid him from going. Phew. Oh man.
So, he was at Busch Gardens, which means he's not now, which means he should be in the live chat, right?
Or did he leave it when they closed at 9 and he's still driving?
That's no excuse.
No texting and driving, but live chatting and driving is absolutely 100% okay, and we totally advocate for it.
This side of the podcast does not.
Yeah, this side, you're the one that inferred it was.
Wait, what? I did not.
You said that's no excuse. So therefore, if he's driving, he should be live
No,
chatting.
he should be sitting in the parking lot on his phone.
Okay. Getting home is of no priority to him.
No. No need for that.
Home is overrated.
It can be.
So what you're telling me, Pam, is that you didn't get last ride of the night? You know what that means, Pam. If you spell Kings Island wrong one more time, it's not an apostrophe S. There's not.
Huh?
It's not kings as in the king owns this island. It's kings as a plural. I'm just doing this because I remember a few weeks back I can't remember what I misspelled, but I got an earful for it. I remember. I think it was.
I never actually thought about that.
It's a plural. It's not ownership.
You mean that's
What?
Kings is not possessive. Well, what's Kings?
It's just multiple. It's a plural. Possessive is showing ownership is the apostrophe S.
Right, I know. So what you're saying is it's not ownership. It's not possessive.
Correct. So it's not an apostrophe S. It's just an S.
I never actually thought about that.
I know you put it on the rundown a couple times, and I had to change.
It could be Kings apostrophe.
But it's not. That's the same. That's just implying there's that's when you have like a double S. Like James's, you would put James, and then you'd put an apostrophe instead of a.
I'm aware of what it means.
Well, there's no. Okay.
No, owned by multiple kings.
You gotta have multiple kings
That's what I'm
owning
saying.
the island. Oh man.
I actually never.
It's not. If you guys look at the logo or look at like online.
No,
it's-
you're absolutely right.
No, but Pam said, "Isn't it King's Island?" Like with the apostrophe after the S.
I forget where the kings came from. I know island came from Coney Island.
Isn't it
I think Kings had something to do with the area that it's
Yeah,
in.
that's what I thought as well. Like somewhere near there.
Kings Mill. Yeah, Kings Mill.
Yeah.
Kings Mills.
I thought isn't it like a neighborhood or something, or like an area of the area they're
It
located.
is a census designated place.
All right, never mind. I thought it was like a.
It's basically a town. Oh, it was a company town for the King Powder Company.
Is that where you powdered your nose? You don't get that Pulp Fiction reference?
Now, Canada's Wonderland has an apostrophe S. Just saying.
Correct. It's not saying that there's multiple Canadas.
There is only one.
There is. Thank God. Just kidding. All right, we should probably start the show since we pretty much are ready. Oh, we don't have a weekly poll. Never mind.
That'll take about an hour.
I don't know if
Where's
I have
Mike
an
to
hour.
give us the over and under?
I think that was just. I think he. I think he had his time and his. And I think he's left us now. He had a good run. He had like a 3-week run, and he's like, "All right, these guys are annoying as fuck. Now I gotta go. And I'm done."
You need to save those expletives for the show because we're going to need to utilize those probably.
It's hard for me to not even use them at all, so I'm okay with using them. I don't know. It's like when I come on the show, it's like it's very difficult. It's just become a part of my language now. So that kind of slipped out there. I apologize. I didn't even realize I said it until you just said that.
I know. I realize that.
Am I swearing? My obscenity has definitely reached a high point. It's just pretty much everything I say includes at least one 4-letter word. Nah, Mike is I bet you he's isn't he doing something this weekend? I think he's on a trip somewhere, which I mean, he's on a trip every other week he's on a
Probably.
trip, but
Yeah. Yeah. No. He. Yeah. I think Hollywood Nights was part of like a really long trip.
yeah, so I think
So
he's either beginning that trip or he's doing another trip. I thought he mentioned Cedar Point. I think the Hollywood Nights trip is after Hollywood Nights. He goes on a big trip.
the Hollywood Nights trip is after Hollywood
I think
Nights.
it's Hollywood Nights happens, and then all of the other parks occur. I don't think it's like he's starting that trip now and then going to Hollywood Nights, and then, like, I think Hollywood Nights is the beginning of that
I
trip.
don't know.
The beginning of his adventure through the United States of America, hitting every park known to man.
Good luck with that, Bruce. Oh, Hershey will be good.
Good luck, and we're all counting on you.
You're like the only park holding it together.
I feel like Holiday World's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything from them.
I mean, I know
I
they-
did hear
They just released.
from
They just.
Knoebels that
Oh, sorry. What?
they're doing. For the longest time, I haven't heard anything about Knoebels, but I did see a really good report about Knoebels being really, really busy, but them handling it really well.
I know.
SeaWorld, South Dakota.
I did hear that Holiday World just announced the mask change with their policy on masks. I mean, a lot of parks did that,
Yes.
but but I just saw that on Twitter like a few days ago.
They announced no social distancing either. What? Like,
I don't think they announced that. I didn't see that.
no, they did. It's they tweeted it. I think it was actually today.
I saw the mask thing
I
like
think
a
it's like
day
they
or...
always got to do like one little thing to just be dumb.
I mean, nobody was really doing it anyway, so it's not like it's that big of a deal.
No,
Not even at
but
any of the parks that are enforcing it, or is anyone doing it.
I think we did that one already, Pam.
It says, in light of recent CDC guidelines, fully vaccinated guests may resume activities without wearing a mask or staying 6 feet apart. So it's the vaccinated guests only. Guests who are not are encouraged to still follow CDC guidelines. So I guess they still want them to wear a mask too, but nobody's going to probably. I'm officially, well, I'm not officially fully vaccinated, but I got my second shot.
I am.
I got my second shot. I'm
I
just
need
not
my
fully
second shot.
immunized yet.
I don't need a second
Takes
shot.
about a week and a half, 2 weeks. And I'm perfectly fine. I got it yesterday, and I'm perfectly fine. Everyone that was like, "Oh, the second shot is hell, and you die, and you can't stand life for 2 days, 3 days." Absolutely nothing. Not even anything at all. Not one misplaced feeling in my body.
I enjoyed a nice trip to the ER. Well, urgent care, and then urgent care sent me to the ER.
You don't say.
It did not surprise me though. And it turns out most of it was just because of crap that was wrong with me that I wasn't aware of. Like, my body didn't have any potassium. So, like, it was probably all eventually going to happen at some point anyway. The vaccine just nudged it over the edge.
I gotcha. I think we've done like
all of
bucket
them are
list
different.
coasters, Pam. We've done
I
bucket.
don't even think it's so much which particular shot you get. It's like you yourself and how your immune system works, and like, oh, there's so many variables on whether you're gonna not feel so good or, you know, be fine. Actually, the Johnson & Johnson was reported to have the least amount of side effects. That was not the case for me. But then as they started drilling down, it was interesting because it seemed like it had the least amount of side effects for people that did not have COVID, but people that did have COVID seemed to get more side effects from the Johnson & Johnson shot, which is interesting.
I thought you were trying to harm us, Pam. I took that the wrong way. I'm sorry. I thought that was...
Wait, what?
I thought that was an attack on us. She said, "I'm just trying to help."
What?
I thought that was an act of aggression.
Oh. Saying leave the dips?
No, she said most sought after credits, and I said, "Oh, we've already done bucket list coasters."
Oh. Yeah, I said that. Did you say that too?
I think I said
I
it.
said we said it. Okay.
We both said it and didn't realize the other said it. All right, we got to think of something. I'm going to go mad.
You're going to go mad?
Yeah. Bonkers. Insane, kooky, nuts, psycho, whatever you want to say.
Insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain.
Psycho killer. Kiss kissy. Fa 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 fa. I like how I think of like songs like 10 or 15 years before the songs that you think of. Is That song came out in like the 90s, and the song I'm saying came out like the late 70s.
Get a superstar. That is what you are. I love that song. Best. Don't give me Pam. Pam. Do not push buttons tonight. We've got a show loaded with stuff
That Bob hates.
that is going to have me going. Don't push my buttons.
I'm really nervous about this show. It's gonna be Bob. Like 99% of everything said on tonight's show is gonna be Bob getting really mad.
The first segment definitely will be.
I'm gonna be like introducing
the
it
second.
really quickly, like for like 5 minutes, and then Bob's gonna go off for like 20.
And here's the thing: the first story. No, it's not Volcano. It's worse. The first story, I'm not even. I have no reason to hold back. It's just. It's just anger. Pure anger.
Pure, raw.
Yes. No, it probably won't sound that bad, but the anger is real.
I don't think I've ever sensed this much animosity from Bob.
Pam, I'm warning you. You don't need another thing to get me fired up.
I don't think I've ever been able to sense this much animosity from Bob in a long time. Like
I don't think I've been
Volcano
this
was
angry.
more pure sorrow and
Yes.
anguish than anything else.
I mean, there was some anger because I think they were absolutely retarded, absolutely dumb. But
Pam, Bob,
yeah.
this is our podcast. Pam does not dictate
I know.
what we say. I know if we could just think of what the weekly poll would be, we could get right to Bob shitting on the parks that we got lined up here, because that's what it is. To be completely sincere and straightforward with you, it's him just shitting on over it. What if I blocked you, Pam, right now? I'm just kidding.
I can't reverse. What? Why?
What do you mean, Pam? We have to talk about rollers. I'm just kidding.
What is your What is the most upsetting moment in park history for you?
Park history, meaning any amusement park industry, like amusement park industry history, kind of.
For the poll.
Maybe we could say
No,
like.
What?
Are you measuring how upset you are? I'm just kidding. I can't even. It just goes and goes and goes.
It's fidgeting.
I thought you were about to be like, yeah, I'm just measuring the exasperation within my soul. We could do. I know what you're saying, but maybe like what decision? What decision that a park made upset you the most, or what course of action, or what something of that nature?
Yeah, like, I mean, you get the idea. I know we gotta finesse the wording, but
What outcome? what park outcome or what park?
I feel like, yeah, worst park experience would be kind of a loaded question. 'Cause people would interpret that. What?
We get a lot of Six Flags Americas, I bet too.
What is this? Probably. My answer would be Six Flags Ohio. Well, no, actually, Six Flags Ohio wasn't bad. Six Flags Worlds of Adventure is when it got really bad.
I have
That
been to
was
King's Dominion
just
this year, yes.
Horrible. That's what we're working on, Pam.
just wanna-
That's kind of the idea there, but we're just kind of trying to figure out the wording.
Yeah, we need to adjust the wording because it's definitely not the best. I think that's a difficult. I mean, because people might interpret that as work park decision, as in the worst park that's been built, the worst park that we need a park making a decision that it's already existing park.
What's
I don't
the
want it to be like
saddest loss
saddest loss, something
in
like,
amusement
but
park
not just saddest
history?
loss, because a lot of these things tonight aren't necessarily losses.
Well, yeah.
What
yeah.
moves have upset you the most? What park moves, park decisions upset you the most? That's what we're looking at. I don't know if I still like that word.
That'll work.
All right. What decisions? Shining star come into view. Hey guys, I'm James. I'm testing the audio one more time before we're about to go live here.
And I'm Bob. I'm
Bob.
testing my audio as well, too.
Bob, you're testing your audio.
I am.
Wow,
And it's
that's
a little
awesome.
loud, and this is normal voice, so I probably should turn this down a little bit.
That's kind of coincidental that we're both testing the audio at the same time for the same show.
Yeah. How about that?
What are the chances?
All right. A little bit lower, testing it.
What are the chances? I'm getting kind of quiet right now. But then when Bob gets mad at Cognac Lake and I have to tone him down, I'm going to have to be like, Bob, chill out.
No! that was loud, but I don't think
But then when Bob
they're
gets
just
mad
a
at
bunch of
Cognac Lake,
idiots. That's all. They're just a bunch of idiots. That's
tone him down, I'm going to have to be like, Bob, chill out.
all right. I think that works. Wow.
You're a shining star, no matter who you are, shining bright to see that you can never. Cam, I'm gonna have to block you if that's actually your conclusion. If that's actually the verdict that you reached over the weekend, then we're gonna have to cut ties.
Posted May 4th, 1998. World of Coasters had this rumor submitted to them. I've been hearing from park sources that Cedar Point will in fact be getting a record-breaking coaster from B&M in 2000. It in fact will be the first ride to top the 300-foot mark and will travel at speeds of around 90 miles per hour. 10 inversions that will span behind and around Mean Streak and across by the Cedar Creek Mine Ride. Construction to start this winter.
If only that's what we saw.
God, no.
That would have been cool.
No.
Yeah,
That would have...
it would have been cool because we have no above 300-foot coaster that inverts, so I think it would be cool to see.
It would be painful.
All right, let's start the show.
Hold on. All right, we're gonna do a show now.
Yeah. So you in no way think that the Tumblebug... Well, obviously, never mind. That's the incorrect phraseology.
I must log into Facebook. Nope.
No,
All right.
sir.
It's not going to be May 27th. Be May 30th. Fix that for you.
All right. I fixed it for you too. All right. I need like a shot of meth. I'm just kidding. No, I mean a caffeine. No. It's not a meth day. I definitely need some caffeine though. I'm like about to fall asleep. Which sucks because I know you're like on the exact opposite kind of mood. You're ready to crack down on some mother effers. And I'm going to be like, yep, alright, moving on.
Does this light make any kind of difference at all? I don't think it does it?
Is there a light? Oh yeah, I can see something flashing.
Yeah. Yeah, like my camera like adjusts.
It's really,
I'll leave it off.
whenever you change it, it like
Doesn't
really,
make a difference.
the pixelation gets really bad.
All right, I'll just leave it off.
Alright, you have my permission. Leave it off.
All right, I'm gonna leave it off then.
I'm gonna turn it back on now.
Top Throw is better than Millennium Force. I concur with that one.
Honestly, pretty close for me, so. I wouldn't put the 400,000
Good.
greater than signs. Maybe just one would be sufficient or adequate.
400,000.
Are you just gonna throughout the
All right.
episode? Are you just gonna keep posting your your thoughts about Cedar Point coasters? It's like every 5 minutes we got Corkscrew and we got Top Thrill. What's next? What's next? I don't know. All I know is that I rode Millennium Force again and there was no airtime. And I was very happy that I wasn't crazy.
I know Millennium Force is weird. I like always thought it was ridiculous that people said they grayed out on Millennium Force until the one day that I grayed out on Millennium Force. I went, where did that come from?
I
How?
grayed out on the like overbank, the first overbank down to like that valley, right before the first Camelback. But I think that has something to do with
Yeah.
other factors possibly than
I mean,
just
it could have been. Yeah, it could have been other factors for me too, but like it was just like, whoa, wait, actually that can happen.
I don't think it's because it's an intense red
All
bull.
right. Oh wait, hold on. I got a Twitter message. This could be a message of something else. Andrew just sent a message. It gets worse. It gets worse each week. I said, I know. It really does. Does the SeaWorld CEO make TV dinners too?
I don't know his preferred method of
You don't get it, do you?
nutrition. I don't know what you're talking about now.
Swanson.
Swanson?
His last name is Swanson.
Like Joe Swanson?
No, Swanson. Swanson makes like all kinds of TV dinners.
I don't know. Okay. I don't know who that is. I don't eat TV dinners ever. Never have I ever. Never will I ever. I hate frozen meals. They kind of gross me out. I'm assuming that's what you're referring to, right? Like the ones that you cook in the microwave?
Indeed.
Yeah, those are gross. I thought you were... Joe Swanson is from Family Guy. I thought you were talking about him, maybe.
Now, turkey TV dinner, man. Some good stuff.
All right, we're just gonna...
Why do you send me a link to?
I didn't mean to. I don't know why it sent that link. I just realized that as well. It was supposed to go to a wiki, but it didn't. I think I might have clicked the copy paste
It's all
link
good.
too before.
I know who you're talking about.
Well, I thought we were just sharing links. All right, let's please just get into the show. I beg of you. I beg of you.
Ready. I'm ready.
Hold up. Let me just plug my laptop. All right. Mr. Counter. Okay, I was going to say.
3, 2.
Welcome back to another week of Coaster Talk Podcast. This is episode number 122 of the show. It's May 30th, 2021, and you're listening to your source for everything roller coasters. I'm James Barber.
And I'm Bob Mertz.
And in about 1.5 to 2 weeks, Bob, I will be fully immunized and ready to be fully vaccinated. I just got my second shot yesterday. So doctor said about 1.5 to 2 weeks is the span of when you're fully immunized and ready to fight back, so to speak. So for right now, I'm just waiting. I have had no reaction.
One shot.
I know, but your one shot did a hell of a lot more damage than mine's done. Both shots have only caused just a little bit of soreness in my left arm, and that's it. So all the people that have been out there with the Pfizer vaccine talking about the days of anguish, I'm not seeing that. I did not get that reaction, so I'm fortunate.
Yeah, it didn't it didn't go as smoothly for me. Ironically, most of my issues. I mean, I definitely had side effects that were expected. I trip to the urgent care, which they sent me to the ER. Um, Really, all it was though was my body didn't have any potassium, and basically I was headed for a problem anyway, and the vaccine kind of just nudged me over the cliff, I guess.
Kind of sped up
It was
that
a rough
process.
couple of
Yeah.
days, but then everything was fine.
Yeah. Well, Bob.
Yeah, well, I mean, it also was an excuse to go potassium.
You just broke up really
is
bad.
fun.
Wait, hold up. You're breaking up like really bad. I don't know what's going on.
I was wondering why you were talking. Like I was in the middle of saying something and you just started talking. I'm like, wait, what?
No, I didn't. I waited until you stopped, so, or at least when I thought you stopped.
Well, no, and I realize that now.
Yeah. All right. So,
You know what?
should we just
Let's
restart?
Yeah, let's just restart.
All right.
'Cause that didn't go smoothly. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think you kind of broke up. I think I kind of cut you off, and I didn't mean to because like you kind of broke up too. And
Yeah, I think
the
we
same
both were
thing
cutting
kinda
each other
happened,
off. People listening are like,
Yeah.
these assholes.
We're
Just keep
a bunch of
talking over
jerks.
each other. Oh, yeah, Bob, really awesome. Yeah, great. All right. You were in the ER? Cool.
All right.
Moving on. I'm just kidding. All right.
All right. 3, 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Coaster Talk Podcast, your source for everything roller coasters. This is episode number 122 of the show. It's May 30th, 2020, and I'm your host, James Barber.
And I'm Bob Mertz.
And Bob, I am now not fully vaccinated quite yet, but I've gotten my second shot, and I'm on my way to being fully immunized here in the next 1.5 to 2 weeks, is what the doctor notified me. Is what will happen? You know, it takes about 2 weeks to fully protect my body from the variants that they know of right now. So, in about 1.5 to 2 weeks, I'll be good to go here.
No more mask for you.
No more mask if I so choose. And also, I have had zero reaction to the second vaccine. It's, I guess, what some might call a miracle, because I know there were days of anguish for many people and of misery and pain for a lot of people. And for me, it's been smooth sailing. I'm the worst I've had thus far is just a sore arm. And that's what everyone has typically after a vaccine anyway. So that's not anything. I mean, that's what I had with the influenza vaccine even back when I was getting the flu vaccine. So this is nothing new. This is nothing bad. I mean, I just got the shot yesterday and I'm back doing the show right now.
Yeah, I don't think I'd say a miracle. I think the thing is, you have basically everybody that doesn't have issues just doesn't say anything, and everybody that has an issue
Yeah.
says something. So
I do.
Here
I was being a bit
that.
facetious. Yeah.
I, on the other hand, yeah, I had some situations where it's so much fun. I ended into the to air because my heart rate was at 150 while I was laying down. And urgent care did a small evaluation and said, you need to go to the ER. Apparently something like weird showed up on my EKG. So yeah, so I ended up at the ER, and it turned out basically, I mean, I had the normal side effects thing, which included a fever. The fever probably elevated my heart rate, but the thing that I didn't know, I didn't have any potassium in my system at all. Well, I mean, I had a little bit, but there really wasn't enough
Yeah,
there.
your levels were very
and
low.
that was actually causing my heart not to beat properly. So like it was like most of the disaster that I had was just already pre-existing. I just wasn't aware of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, like 2 days, I was done. Like I was fine.
Yeah,
after
I
that.
mean, I
Like,
had teachers out for 4 or 5 days. So I was a bit concerned yesterday. Not necessarily about the vaccine, but about the reaction I would have, and it's been absolutely fine. I was like, oh, I have the show tomorrow. Is that gonna create a conflict? Are we gonna have an issue there? But everything seems to be growing great. That would suck if like right now I just start like having like the worst reaction of all time. I'm like, oh, I gotta go to the ER. That would be karma.
Get
But
sick.
I'm speaking too
Drinking
soon,
fluid
possibly.
with potassium.
Yeah, I've got low potassium, and they're like, we got to do an EKG on you.
Drink your electrolytes, people.
Mhm, mhm.
Electrolytes, man. They're important.
And eat those bananas. But we were talking.
Water.
I mentioned about a week and a half, 2 weeks, and about that time frame, actually a little bit less. It's only about a week actually. We'll be at Hollywood Nights, and we're gonna talk about this much more into depth in the second half. But that's been the fuel for my week. That has been what's gotten me through the past week because it's just like, oh, it's so
And
close. It's so close.
It's a good thing it's going. We're going to talk about the end podcast because I'm really going to need something to lift me up
Yeah, lift those spirits.
after this first
Mhm.
part of this podcast.
Yeah, because you're about to see Bob livid like you've never seen him before. He is enraged. He is indignant. He is very, very mad. Yes, if you don't know, Bob actually has a Sour Patch Kid container from the American Dream Mall when we went, and he flips it. And it has the blue side and the red side. The blue side's when he's feeling good. The red side's when he's boiling, when he's exasperated, when he's mad. So it's time. He's flipped it to the red. Cognac Lake, Bob, is the first park up for discussion on our weekly news segment. I'll introduce the story, but I know you'll be going off on a tangent here once I get it out. So the first story,
Which story?
in order, we're going in
James?
order. So
'Cause
if you
there's
guys go to the
not
show
just
notes,
one.
we have a insane amount of stories. It's a quantity I don't think we've ever had before, and it might be hard to follow. But we are going in the correct order. We're going
We
down the
actually
list of.
we actually had to change. But we actually had to change the format of our rundown for these first two sections of news.
Yeah.
It's how bad things are going right now.
Yeah, and if you're trying to look at the show notes and follow a little bit along, we are going again in order of what we have listed. So don't worry, we're going to go straight with the first story here from Cognac Lake, which is the fact that they're not opening for Memorial Day like planned. They're hoping to open what they've said as July 4th weekend. But we don't know if it's official yet. The new Cognac Lake Park did announce that on Facebook, though.
Oh crap! Oh crap! Sorry, had a little something in my throat.
Yeah. So I mean, it's disappointing that we're not seeing this turn. You know what's ironic about this? Honestly, it's disappointing we're not seeing an opening like they said. It's ironic though because Fantasy Island we talked about last week's trying to open the 4th of July, and they just acquired that park a few weeks ago, and this has been a done deal for quite some time at Cognac Lake. So it's kind of funny there. That's ironic.
Let's actually do this, James. Go ahead and share the other two stories.
All right, and then I'll just let you
talk
go
about
back and forth and
and
every which
then
way.
because you might look at it like that story. That doesn't sound that bad, but just wait, it gets worse.
The real
It gets
reason
a lot
that this
worse.
story
This
is
next part-
is yeah, the real
Freaking murdering bees.
the real reason this story in this park is antagonizing Bob so harshly and driving him to a level of animosity I've never seen him before is because Tumblebug, a ride that they previously stated they were trying to open up this year and that they were working hard and productively to get it open, is now resting in peace as they've announced that they're going to be getting rid of the ride, scrapping it, and it will not operate ever again at Cognac Lake. So that's upsetting quite a few people online, on Twitter, on Facebook. It's upsetting a co-host of mine, Bob.
You it is not reminiscent. I guarantee you it. And all the people that put so much effort into restoring that ride are also not. Those are the people I feel the worst. I really feel bad for them.
Yeah, I see a lot of people who say they know about this ride and that it's definitely some work, but it's not irreplaceable or irreparable. You know, like these parts and these issues with the ride
It
aren't
was running
repairable or
fine in
refixable.
2019. How does the thing break down so badly that it can't be repaired when it was running better than it ever had been in 2019?
And it never ran.
Can somebody explain
from
that to me?
2020 to 2021? Yeah, it just never ran. So, I mean, I can't necessarily contemplate how they
Even
reached this
Kennywood
decision.
keeps theirs running, and that's saying something.
Oh man,
there-
and that tweet,
Oh,
that tweet.
that's another thing that we have to mention too.
Yeah.
Is what Kennywood did.
Kennywood went out on a limb, quite a brave and
Oh my
bold
God.
limb here, and called out Cognac to a degree by saying that they still have the only operating tumblebug now.
That I like outside that. Oh, that almost made me as mad at it. Like, so the way this played out was the new owner posts to the Conneaut Lake Facebook page
Yes.
that, oh, we tried so hard. Oh crap. But we just weren't able to restore it. We just couldn't we're so sorry we couldn't make it happen. But don't worry, because we're gonna just set the turtles there so you can actually crawl and take pictures on the pieces that remain of the history of this park. While this motor that runs just fine is just tossed. Where is it? Oh, it's in the scrapyard. No, don't sell it to anybody. Just scrap it. Because why would you? Who would? Anyway,
man.
decides to say on Twitter, "Hey, it's the last operating tumblebug, just to dance on the ashes of Conneaut Lake Park." And at what point does Kennywood just feel like, hey, you know what? This is a cause worth taking up, saying that we're preserving the last known type of this ride, kangaroo. Come on, people. Oh my God. Like,
They took it
Like,
down,
they did take it down. I think it
but
lasted
they
about
set
an
themselves
hour,
up for
hour and a
failure
half.
with that tweet. That was one of the most
That
idiotic
Like-
and just questionable tweets I think I've ever
mean,
seen.
that just shows a park that's just out of touch. Like,
It's not
Oh,
even
there's
out of
two
touch.
left.
It's just like they wanted to sabotage themselves. I don't know, like
I don't know who they were trying to sabotage. Like, everybody.
themselves.
Just everybody. We want everybody to feel absolutely horrible about everything. That's what they were saying right there. We
yeah,
are
but
a
they
horrible
completely
company
undermined
because
their entire park
want to
by doing
remind
that.
you, we threw Kangaroo away, and now we watch Conneaut throw this away, so that now we again have the last operating ride, so that next year we
can remove
throw
it.
this tumblebug away and start the whole freaking process over again. What happened to Pennsylvania? For crying out loud, man. Pennsylvania was like so freaking awesome for all these like little parks, and they're all going to shit. It's all going to hell in a handbasket because like, and Palace comes in and says, "Oh no, we're gonna make a mess out of this." Conneaut's like, "No, we're gonna do damage like you've never seen before." Lakemont's
you've
like, "No, we
seen-
already did that. We already threw everything away."
Yeah,
For God's sakes, people!
yeah.
Sorry if my audio is distorting. I'm angry.
God,
in case you-
anybody with headphones on, I deeply, deeply apologize. My condolences completely. We are 100% okay with paying the medical bill for the ear, nose, and throat doctor. But yeah, it needed to be said. Yeah, people in the chat said to get your popcorn ready. You haven't seen nothing
I'm
yet.
serious.
We just started.
And this is the thing. There's usually like, I mean, I get upset with parks, and I've been upset with parks before. Everybody knows this. They've listened. They like grab their
No,
popcorn.
Bob's
and they
infuriated
listen.
quite
But-
frequently. Yeah.
But the thing is I really do try to keep a certain amount of respect for those parks. I mean, it doesn't always come out when I'm going off about the certain
When you're telling them what
issue,
idiots and morons they are.
But- but I try, like, I don't want to completely destroy a park. Like, I'm not going to tell you not to go to Kennywood. I'm angry at Kennywood, but I'm not going to tell you don't go to Kennywood because I want you, I want them to
Kennywood's
survive.
not so far displaced yet. I mean, it's still a good park. They still have some great rides.
What they're doing is really upsetting. But I mean, there
Yeah,
are
but
things that
I
are
feel like
worthwhile there.
with
And that's the thing. My goal is not to destroy park. Like, I try to have some reservation. With Conneaut Lake, I have absolutely no reservation anymore because it's done. At this point, I've completely written off Blue Streak. This new owner is destroying this park, and I'm telling you, man, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I really thought, hey, you know what? This could be good. This could be a really good situation. The park is all of a sudden out of bankruptcy. There's some money being infused into it, and then immediately he starts tearing down buildings. Okay. Not all that happy, but we can deal with that. Then he says, well, you know what? We're not going to really put a focus on the dry park. We really want to get the Tumblebug and Blue Streak and all those rides really in the best operating condition. So we may not see those until 2022.
Yep.
Okay. Give you some leeway. I mean, some work into them. I mean, if you're gonna keep them classics, but like make sure they're okay, you got it. I can deal with that. And then to all of a sudden say
Yeah,
we tried
that makes
to
sense.
fix this ride that wasn't broke, and now we're just throwing it away. And they're you don't know, like there's
Bob cannot even
articles written about
formulate
this.
it. He can't even formulate
you
or put into
really
words how
need-
angry he is.
You really need to read some of the Reddit threads because there are actually a lot of people that are commenting in the Reddit threads that actually personally have worked in this park. This entire park, Conneaut Lake was on the brink of destruction for so many times. It was like people were like, this is it. This is the day. This is when it dies. There's no way it can be saved. And people went and they dumped blood, sweat, and tears out of pure passion to fix that park and keep that park running and preserve the history. I mean, they didn't get paid for any stuff. It was pure volunteer work. I mean, people that went, I listened to people tell stories of how like the park let you stay in Hotel Conneaut if you helped, but Hotel Conneaut didn't necessarily have heat at the time, so like you still had to bring like sleeping bags and be prepared to sleep. Like people care about this park much that they like just so much for into the park, and this owner just comes in and has like just said the hell with it. I don't give a shit about anything that's come before. Let's just bulldoze everything. And he doesn't care. He does not care. And the only thing that I can figure at this point is, first of all, we were all completely duped. This whole thing about how, no, I don't object to the public use because I plan to run this as a park. That's my whole intention, to run this as a park. And then as soon as the deed is signed and it's his, the mask comes off and he's like, let's just destroy this. And it is clear this guy's a real estate developer that has no intention other than the best way I can put it is I think this is gentrification of an amusement park. This guy can't see the history. He can't see what Conneaut Lake has that's so special. All he sees is eyesores, and all he wants is to raise the property value around the park. So what if Tumblebug is running fine? It just doesn't look good to him, so therefore it's got to go. And there's no way I cannot see Blue Streak emerging on the other side of this with even half the greatness that it had the last time I wrote it. Because I'm telling you right now, a lot of the charm's going to be erased. I can, if we see it run at all, it's going to run with trains with some kind of stupid restraints that aren't needed.
Some new modifications.
And crap that just, yeah, it's just not going to be needed because a roller coaster is just an eyesore to this guy. He doesn't care. He just doesn't care. He just doesn't care. And there's not like he has made that so blatantly clear if you follow what's been going on. Devil's Den. There's one guy that put like basically rebuilds that thing from scratch. He puts all this effort into it. Is that safe? Is that gone? Like what's going to happen? I mean,
yeah.
I'm like every single horrible thing that has irritated and pissed me off in the amusement park industry before has had something where I went, okay, I still think you're a bunch of morons, but I understand. Like I see that point. There's that little tiny point that I get where you're coming from. There's nothing here.
There's
to have
something
a
somewhat
park
to
that has
justify it. Not
no money.
Yeah.
This park's had no money and has survived for decades with no money, and some guy comes along with a ton of money, and this is going to be the guy that kills it. The guy that comes along with the money is going to be the guy that kills it.
Yep.
Oh, and speaking of money, there's a volleyball tournament that happens every year at Conneaut Lake Park.
Yeah. The next on the rundown, and you can move on
So
now,
I'll
guys.
let you share the story.
Yeah, because that's about the only word I'll get in this. So there was a tournament ran by, I believe, a family, and it was called the Volleyball Conneaut Lake Park Tournament. They held it every year. It's like the 13th or 14th year they've been doing it. And it was 13th annual Memorial Weekend Volleyball Tournament. And basically the park said that there really is nowhere to have the event on that weekend, and nowhere to place that event, to have that event take place at the park. And if they were to do it, they would require a fee increase of $350 to be paid to the park for this event to take place, for this tournament to take place. So yeah, that's definitely not a good look from the communal standpoint either. I mean, the community is probably very upset about that because this is something that's, again, 13 years. That's almost as old as I am. That's a tradition at this point. That's something that
This guy that is interested in, the community.
Yeah, I know.
things like
That's been his thing
actually,
too.
This isn't like that. From what's that volleyball tournament is not happening this year.
Like
It's done.
the other decisions, I think, have been poor, like moving Tumblebug, not opening when they said they were, and waiting till a significant portion after to open, like in July. I think those have been poor moves, but this is definitely the most questionable one because, again, his whole like campaign, his whole build up for this park is that this is going to be something for the community. Yes, he does want to reach out to other parts of the state and to other parts of the country even and make this a resort and something well known, but he said many times, I know in articles we read, that he was coming from this with a community focus. And this is definitely a bizarre move for someone that's community focused, community minded, because I mean, it's a awful decision. It really upsets and enrages those who are going to have to not participate this year because of, I mean, a $350% increase in the pricing is crazy, especially on top of that saying that you're going to have a reduced space and that there's not a lot of space to have this event.
We can't really fit you, but we'll squeeze you into this tiny place. That
Yeah,
we can barely
exactly.
fit
That's
you
like
into.
exploitation
Or
almost.
350% more than what you paid
That's
last year.
exploitation of the community. That's just, I mean, and what else is happening? If the park isn't opening Memorial Day weekend, what else is happening at the park that they can't squeeze them in?
They're bulldozing it.
Yeah, I guess.
That's the thing. They need to make sure that
Yeah, the volleyball
they keep
courts
the
are a
tournament
construction
away
zone.
from, like, Next thing you know, the volleyball team will be bulldozed and recycled or sold for scrap or something because
You guys aren't dressed
screw it.
appropriately. It's your guys are kind of an eyesore. We're gonna have to.
Let me
Have
tell.
to
Let me
bulldoze
let me
you.
say this. I'm like, I've been really good about never dropping the F bomb on this
Oh
podcast,
boy.
but I'm telling you, multiple times it has almost slipped out. I have never been this angry. I've absolutely never been this angry, and I don't like
Ever, or are
the
we just talking about
thing.
parks?
What's that?
Relating to parks or ever? Like this is the most angry you've ever been in your entire life?
There've been a couple times. I mean, this is up there. This is up there. This
Wow.
is really up there. I mean, there are some instances that have happened that had me more angry than this, but
Yeah. When
this
you wrote
is
Steel
just.
Vengeance for
I,
the
I
first
mean,
time. I'm just kidding.
I was angry about that. I mean, this is. There's no. I don't. There's nothing. There's nothing we can do, and this is the thing. Like, even there's some people that are now saying like, well, maybe this guy's going to get himself into a situation where he has to sell to somebody. But I'm telling you right now, from everything I've seen, this guy is not going to sell the park to anybody else until it is completely destroyed.
But yeah, and
100.
exactly. Even if it is sold, that logic doesn't necessarily
There's nothing.
that doesn't really consistent logic because at this point, most of the damage has already been done. You know, even
I
if he
mean,
does end up
the only
selling it to somebody who
yeah.
does appreciate and legitimize the history of the park, it's a little late now because I mean most of the histories, as we've been reporting on for the past couple of months, has been demolished and
Yeah. Those
and
buildings,
cleared.
I mean, some of those buildings, yeah, they had to go. I get it, but
Yeah,
they didn't have to demolish them all.
it's not
And
necessarily that the buildings went, but now it's like a buildup of the buildings, the rides, all
it
like it's
doesn't
all adding
matter.
to
Like
it.
what?
Like at first, I was not at all worried or concerned about some buildings being removed. You know, you gotta do
I
what you gotta
wasn't worried.
do.
I was.
They might have bad
It piqued my
infrastructure. I don't know.
curiosity, but I wasn't worried. I was like, okay, this might be okay. I mean, as long as you keep Blue Streak and like the classic rides and stuff like that,
Uh-huh.
Devil's Den, Tumblebug. Um, but that's not what's happening. Blue Streak will not open this year. That was said.
Yeah,
I
a
think
while, I
they
think that
said
was a
they
week or
mentioned
two
that a
ago.
while ago.
Yeah, I think we talked about
Um,
that.
but there's no good reason for this. The only thing that logically makes any sense is that this guy looks at this park as an eyesore and he wants rid of it. He wants it gone because he feels that it's bringing down property values because he does own other property in the community. And I think that's what I'm really curious what's going to what's going to go on with the RV park after this.
I don't know if he wants to. I mean, it's not. He doesn't want it gone. He wants to just completely re-envision
No,
what the park is.
he wants any memory of Conneaut Lake or what makes Conneaut
He wants
Lake
it truly
Conneaut
to
Lake.
embody that new at the front of the park
Yeah.
name now. He wants it to be the new Conneaut Lake Park. It's not the old Conneaut Lake Park. It's the new. Look to the future. New, you know.
Nothing. It doesn't make any sense. There's nothing like. I mean,
Change, advance,
you're not going to
development.
pull people from anywhere. Blue Streak is what pulled people there, and this honestly upsets me because I've been how much I love Blue Streak, and I've been telling you about it, and like I've been looking forward to you and all of our other friends actually having a chance to ride Blue Streak,
Yeah.
and now
And
like
truly get the experience that.
I even if Blue Streak survives, which I think is very questionable because I will not be surprised at this point in my mind.
Yeah, I think
Blue
that's.
Streak is probably
I think
gone.
that's up for
But
dispute.
if it survives at all, it is not going to be the top 5 coaster that I rode. You're never going to get to experience what I had on that, and that frustrates me. I mean, words can't describe it. The POV doesn't do it. Like you don't feel what you know. There's there's no way to make any sense of this other than this guy just wants to like get rid of the blight. And when he says blight, he means the rides, the old rides. They just don't look
The
good to
old
him. Like that's
rides, the old infrastructure, the old, yeah, anything that, like you said, could be perceived as an eyesore or as something that's not modern and up to date. Yeah, I mean, and that's unfortunate because, I mean, we have those parks, right? We have Universal, we have Disney, we have those parks that are the new, the more modern, up to date. Everything has to look a certain way, and we have those old parks also, the old traditional Knoebels and what was once Kennywood, a little bit still Kennywood to a degree.
but
That have the, I mean, and you can incorporate with like Kennywood, you can incorporate the new with the old, without
in
completely.
Knoebels.
Yeah, I mean, Knoebels not as much as Kennywood, I don't think, but Knoebels definitely, yeah, has is impulse and some new rides for sure. Um, so you can do it. It just seems that this individual owner doesn't see that as the most appealing to himself, or I guess he thinks that this is probably a. I mean, I would envision he thinks this is a good business decision. Whether or not he's looking at it from a real estate perspective or from a park owner perspective, I don't know. I would love to like actually hear what kind of rationale he has for this. What kind of um,
But I see. I think that's one of the bigger problems is we're not hearing his rationale because he knows his rationale. If people find out his rationale is not, he's not going to get anywhere. Like that's the other thing. The board of trustees, like they signed off on this guy. So you had people that for over a decade have grown and rebuilt, like put a lot of effort into this park. They're not
I
going to
would
just
think he
hand it
had to
over
have some
to,
sort of
you know.
plans laid out for them and showed them what he was going to do with the park. Like
I
I can't imagine that he did
and
a
that
complete
may
180 like this, and nothing of
but
this sort was said.
I think the whole thing is I really seriously at this point, seeing everything as it's unfolding right now, I really think this guy maybe he did have a plan, but it was just a complete farce. It was a smokescreen
Yeah, I don't know.
because he wanted to accomplish like his goal was I need to find a way to get. It's like that like my neighbor has a an old beat up car sitting in their yard and it's bringing my property value down. Well, in this case, it's oh, this park has this beat up roller coaster in their yard and it's bringing my property value down. And like that's where this guy is coming at it from. And it's I mean, found a way to like fool people, get in there and just take care of it himself. And so that's the thing. I don't think he really cares like a 350% price increase on renting makes perfect sense if you don't want them to rent, but you don't want to outright refuse it. Like if your goal is not to make money off of the park and your goal is to make money on the property value surrounding it, you don't care what happens. So the people doing events at the park are kind of a nuisance right now because there's a whole lot of shit to tear down. That's in like that seems to be his mentality right now. Like, don't get in the way. We got bulldozers coming in, and we gotta love this crap. Like that's there's nothing that points to anything else.
I mean, I think that's a fair interpretation for sure, and I think that's most likely what's happening. I just want to hear from him actually, like what his actual thought process on these decisions is, because it's readily apparent that they're terrible decisions, and I mean, I can't imagine sitting in a meeting with him, like a board meeting or whatever, and just having this discussion, and everyone going, "Yep, all right, great." Like, so I have to hear. I have to hear it from him. Like, I mean, I know we never will, but I would really be intrigued to at least hear the
I
man
wish,
out.
yeah, I would like to do that myself, but I don't. Yeah, we're not going to because, I mean, it's apparent everything he said before actually taking ownership is not lining up with anything being done right now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he did
So,
talk about bringing change, and I mean,
well, holy shit. I mean, yeah, but like,
so I
boy,
mean,
that
maybe he's
misleading.
pulling like, well, from a certain point of view, I did say that I was gonna do. Maybe he's pulling that card. Maybe it's more of a, well, I didn't necessarily say I wouldn't do this. I did say I would bring some revisions and some adjustments to the park. I don't know. I mean,
Adjustments.
yeah, adjustments, quote unquote.
I mean, if you have a car and you build it again on a new frame, is it still the same car?
This is
Legally,
the
no.
ship paradox from WandaVision. Remember that? That became big because of WandaVision. It wasn't from WandaVision. I can't remember exactly but it was the wooden like the ship of Theseus or whatever. It was like, if you take apart the ship and then you rebuild it because it's like the wood's rotting out, is it still the same ship? So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you could say obviously that's what I was saying earlier. It's like
See,
he's
this is
really
the
emphasizing the
problem,
new aspect of Cognac. It really is the
but
new
it's not
Cognac
going to
Lake
look
Park.
anything like.
It's not Cognac Lake Park. You know,
I
it's
mean,
the
he's
new
taking apart a
Cognac Lake.
rowboat, building a yacht. I mean, it's. I mean, I don't know that he's going to get to a yacht, but it's that intent. Like it's like this. It's like
That's what he envisions for the park.
you know what I really would like to know what the locals think,
I mean, and it's possible. I mean,
because
when this announcement was made, I remember Hyde and me talking, or I think it was Hyde and me that talking about like this guy could just bulldoze the park, and he, because we did talk about the fact that he was a real estate developer, and then when they came out, we're like, no, this is going to be a park. We're like, all right, and then even you being an optimist in this case, because you want it to be, because it's a park that you care about a lot. You were like, no, I have confidence. I really entrust this guy. So it is.
well,
It's
I
quite
never
a.
trusted this guy.
Well, you
I trusted
wanted
the
to
board of
trust him.
trustees.
Well, you said you wanted
Yeah,
to trust
I
him.
trusted that the board of trustees
Would make the
trusted him.
correct decision.
That's
It
where
was
my
secondhand
trust is
trust. It wasn't firsthand trust.
at. Right. Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
but yeah, and it is definitely. Again, I need to. I'm going to reiterate this. I need to hear some sort of rationale behind this decision, because unless like you said, his whole goal is, and his whole explanation and his whole motive is, I want to completely demolish this park, which I really hope is not the case. I mean, I know that's what you feel, and I know that's kind of out of anger right now, and I don't necessarily disagree that that's not what he's doing, but I really hope that's not his principal reason behind it, or his fundamental reason or motivation behind this whole.
Well, I let me clarify a little bit. What I'm not saying that Conneaut Lake Park is not is it's I'm not saying it's definitely no longer an amusement park. What I'm saying is what's there now is gone, with the exception of the water park, I think. But what I see happening is him getting rid of these old rides that to him look like an eyesore, and then bringing in newer rides instead. But there's a problem with that, in that the new little rides that you're going to bring in aren't going to draw people there from like Pittsburgh. It's just, a park like that would be a small carnival type for the locals. And that's why I'm really curious what the locals think. That's the one thing, if you look right around 2016, 2017, that started getting the attention of people from, Eastern Ohio, Pittsburgh, Southern New York. Oh wait, this part turning into something where like this is interesting, and like there was momentum building, but the locals didn't have the momentum. And I distinctly remember every year a representative from Conneaut went to Coaster Bash, which was Ace Western PA's non-coaster or
Non-riding
riding
event.
event.
Yeah.
And in 2019, he was so excited. You could genuinely see how excited he was because he said we finally have the locals excited about this park now. Because he was saying everybody that was coming to the park since like 2016, everybody was, from outside the area. But in 2019, it changed. And the locals all of a sudden were excited about Conneaut Lake Park again. And I'm really curious. I really would like to know what they think. Because that's going to be a key.
Because they were attracting
especially
them.
Blue
And do you think they
Streak
might be like repelling them
remain
now,
the way
kind
it
of?
is.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Well, that's the thing. Are the locals going, oh, wait, I want to see the property value go up? Or are they, well, no, I think we're losing a lot of our history. I don't want to see the history go. Like, what are they thinking? I'd really like to know that.
What the heck just happened?
I don't know. What was that all about?
I said we need to pause. Because you're breaking up again.
Oh.
And then you exited and entered and all this.
Did it helped? It didn't help? What?
I don't know if it helped or not. I think it's time to transition.
Yeah. I was actually trying to wind that down.
What were you saying last? You don't know about the guests, about the people out of state, whatever.
Just the locals. Like, I'm curious what they think.
What was the very last thing you said? Is it something I could transition away from, or is it?
Yeah, here.
Just
let's see if you can hear this. Are they? No, I think we're losing a lot of our history. I don't want to see the history go. What are they? I'd really know that.
All right. So you said, what are they thinking?
Yeah, the locals. What are the? Yeah.
All right.
Hold on. Let me cut the dead air off. All right, you ready?
No, hold up.
I'm at 39.32 and a half.
I'm at 39.27. I think that might be because of the buffering, though. So what are they thinking? All right. Are you ready?
Oh, wait, hold on a second. Sorry. Yep. 3, 2.
Yeah, I'd like to know what they're thinking. I'd also like to know what Cedar Point is thinking with this.
All right. Or not. Sorry.
What?
Hold up.
God.
Wait, was that delayed?
Yeah.
I did 3-1 and it was like you were just sitting there staring at me.
It was delayed. Yeah, hold up.
Talk.
All right, hopefully nothing screwed up.
Hold on. Let me check something on my end.
I'm testing.
Oh, whoa.
I'm testing.
My system load's really high. Hold on. I am going to leave the chat for a second. I want to restart my prayer. I'm actually legit out of RAM. Oh no! Don't. Oh. Now my browser's freaking out. Come on, just shut down, please. Like 1.5 whole cores of my CPU, and I don't know why. I wonder if it's this new version they forced me to upgrade to. Oh well, let me restart my browser. Why are you reopening all these windows? You stupid prick.
We're live. Hello.
All right.
Are we live? I think we're good.
It's not Linux. It's lack of memory. Are we good?
I think so.
All right. They're saying that the stream is buffering. If that's the case, it's not me.
No, I had to.
Anyway.
When you went off, I had to I thought something was happening with my computer, so I disconnected my internet and reconnected it. So that probably caused that issue.
Oh.
I thought it was on my end
Alright.
at first, but I didn't realize that you had a RAM issue. I think everything should be okay now.
All right.
I don't know. Maybe it is an issue on my end. I don't think it is. Everything seems okay.
Okay. That may have been what it is. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring up
You
the
ready?
Kings Island thing as well. That they're making their employees. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the next segment's all about that.
I know. So I'm glad. I'm just saying I'm going to be bringing that up in addition to what we already have written down. It's technically a rumor because it
Alright.
hasn't been officialized, but
Yeah.
all right.
All right. 3, 2.
Yeah, I'd really love to know what's going on with the locals in Conneaut Lake, what that relationship's like. And I'd also really like to know what's going on at Cedar Point. We talked about this when we
Cedar
went.
Fair.
Cedar Fair is a company, but Cedar Point in particular right now. If you want to follow along, again, we're on our second news blurb here with Cedar Fair is also a cluster. The first story is that they are going to be closing on select dates in June, which means Wednesdays and Thursdays of June they will
Is it-
not be open.
Is it Wednesday, Thursdays, or Tuesday, Wednesday?
Is it Wednesday, Thursdays, or Tuesday, Wednesday? I don't know. I
Let
thought
me
you put
reread.
I thought you put
It's one
Thursdays,
of those.
Wednesdays, but
No, I put Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
they're closing in June for select days. That's what
There's
they're.
2 days. Wednesday and one of the T days.
Wednesday
Who knows?
is
By time
definitely-
this airs, they could be closed Tuesday through Thursday.
By the
so-
time Cedar Point could just be done. They could by the time this airs, just closed in general. But yeah, it definitely shows. I think that they are understaffed, which we keep hearing this stupid phrase being thrown around by the executives of the chain that they're appropriately and adequately staffed, and there's so
Well,
many
it depends.
cases.
It depends on who they're talking to, because the shareholders, they have enough staff
Yeah.
to handle the posted calendar. Except to the guests, they said, we don't have enough staff. We can't hire anybody.
Yeah.
So we have to close.
But I keep hearing
So-
that. That's like their main response. They will throw in a quick, yeah, we don't know if we have enough, but every time like an executive or a higher up at the park is asked what's going on with staffing, we're good, adequate, appropriate, enough, sufficient, whatever. And the fact that they keep posting job listings for $20 an hour pay rates and $500 sign-on bonuses and all this, it just shows that they're not. And that's fine.
Right.
I'm not
And people
I'm not
still don't
faulting
wanna
them.
work
People
for
are,
them.
how can you fault them for not having enough staff? And I'm not faulting them for that. But to try to open the park, let the floodgates fly open and let all these people in, and they don't have enough staff to
Yeah.
deal with it. That is the issue here. Not
Right.
that they're
That's not
that they're
the
understaffed.
right. The issue isn't that they don't have enough staff. The issue is that they're behaving like they do.
Exactly. And they're
they're trying to
they're
bluff
trying
their
to
way
operate
through.
like a regular season, and it's not.
Yeah.
That's the issue. So please don't interpret us in any other way.
The fun part about this was the announcement of this left people who were ready for their vacation started in like 15 days.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's canceled.
No, it doesn't. It does not start.
You can't go there. And oh, by the way, you don't really know what's going on. Like, are you gonna get your refund? Like, I mean,
You have to
eventually
contact
you are,
us.
but are you
You
with
know,
that?
because with COVID, we acknowledge that they handled COVID well. They were like very on top of it. We're giving you your refund, or you can stay with us, and we're extending your pass completely till 2022 or 2021. They were very upfront and apparent, and it was a great way to handle it. Great communication with their guests. For some reason, they completely have lost that now, and they're like, you know what? Contact us now for further details. We're not really sure. Your fate's undetermined. We might give you, we might not. Contact us for further details if you need to.
That's kind of the one thing about Cedar Fair and Cedar Point in particular. They've always done this, and they've somehow succeeded at doing it. But they're very good at keeping stuff from their guests
Yes.
and not really being transparent.
Communication is poor.
But it's not even just like it's also an active thing, because there's like, you look at the issues of like when Still Vengeance bumped and Valraven bumped and Magnum bumped, and I think Millennium Force even bumped, because apparently coasters at Cedar Point are also bumper cars.
They're just prone to bumping.
But you never heard anything from Cedar Point. They did, like, they hushed that up so quick. Like, you heard reports of people that were there, but you never heard. Cedar Point was just like, nope, not even going to talk about it, not even going to acknowledge something happened. It just, just didn't happen.
Yeah, they're good at being hush hush and stealthy.
And they've always done well at that. But I think they've been emboldened by it, that they think that, oh, we can just like not tell people anything like anytime we feel like it. And this is the year that people are like, hold up, no. We had enough.
Yeah,
We've
this
had
is the
enough.
limit. This is the limit, and you've passed it. Not only that, right? But apparently on this tweet they blocked comments, if you didn't see that. But then
because
they announced on Twitter, on top of that they are experiencing a higher than normal call and email volume. So they were having a
really, I wonder why.
yeah. Not that you just told everyone to contact you if they had any questions about the issue that you brought upon them. But yeah, it's a shit show, for the lack of better words.
Did you happen to read any of the comments on that message about the call centers being busy?
No, I did not.
There were a lot. This was highly entertaining purely because it wasn't me. People were like posting comments saying, "Hey, I emailed you like a week ago about this, and I haven't got a response." And they literally replied back to those people and said, "Oh, please send your email to." Like they asked them to email them about the email that they never got a response to.
If you can't reach us via email, would you mind emailing us?
Right. Please email us, since that email didn't work. That makes sense.
Yeah, this is just a manic environment that they've created, and it's all inflicted. I mean, I feel no sympathy for the park because they again, this is to me, especially when I went the last weekend or 2 weekends ago. Um, it's a cash grab. They're trying to milk as much money out of this as they can by
Yep.
using a weak workforce, and it's putting the workers in a bad position. Because I mean, again, a video that went kind of semi-viral of mine was a woman yelling and screaming and freaking out and going nuts on this employee, this associate at the front of Steel Venues. I mean, it's not his fault. He's just enforcing what the supervisors and the leadership of Cedar Point are telling him to
Right.
do. And it's causing issues. I mean, and they're talking about they want staff and all this, but you're going to have a lot of staff probably quit if they have to deal with upset guests because they're setting their associates up for this kind of environment. So
And I think
it's just
that's
it's like a cycle. It's gonna happen. It's gonna keep revolving around. Associates are gonna quit. You're gonna have to need more, and then you're gonna be like, hey, we're out of
but
employees.
there's also this undercurrent that's been building as well that I don't think people have really paid much attention to. And I've talked to a lot of people online, and I've actually known people personally as well that have worked for various different chain amusement parks. And like a lot of people really liked the job and they liked interacting with the people, like their coworkers, but they really just they couldn't do it long term because the commitment it required was so great that it just wasn't worth it to them. And there's kind of been this thing where people have like, I mean, if you're like you or me and we were to get a job at an amusement park, like that would be if that took up our summer, that would kind of be exciting to us because we really like amusement parks. That might not be that big of a deal. But for somebody that's just looking for a job, you can't ask them to give up their entire summer, not go on vacations and like hang out with their friends at all. Um, there's a high level of demand, and I think they've seen it this year, and they're starting to kind of work around that a little bit. But there's just been a lot like that's kind of been the consensus of a lot of people that have worked there that have said like this is just too demanding for a seasonal position, to just require the entire summer. And that's kind of gone into that like, I don't want to work. I don't really want to work there. I'd rather work at a fast food restaurant where I can have, you know, some more days off a week.
Yeah, I mean, all right, we gotta pause real quick. Sorry, I have to pause. All right,
I know what you're going to say, and I
I can't.
covered it.
I know I can't say anything though. Like I have an opinion on this, but I feel like if I say it, it's pretty obvious that
You're saying that you have time off, right?
we don't have time. I mean, you literally make your own schedule. It's like you can do whatever you want.
Right. And that's exactly what I said. They've learned a little bit of that this year. They've changed it this year. A lot of people have said that. But like people that have been working for like the last 5 to 10 years, that's been an ongoing thing of like you have to have it. That this year. That's what I'm saying. I specifically said that.
Well, I'm not only talking about that, but I also was gonna get into the nitty gritty of the actual job, but I can't. I don't really want to do that. So it's all right. Just kind of move on, I guess, because
That's kind of what I was expecting you to do. I
I don't
mean,
want to. I
I
feel
don't,
like that's a little bit too of a. I mean, that's directly it, like what they don't want. I
what do you mean?
mean,
You're not saying it though. I am.
I know, but I have the thoughts on this, and I can't really speak to it. So it's kind of a weird place for me to be in.
I thought weren't we already muted? Oh, I'm not muted.
We're back, guys.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Apology accepted. So I'll just move
Wait, hold
on.
on, let me-
I guess. I can talk about this next thing, I guess. I'll talk about the Kings
Yeah, let
Island
me-
thing.
Hold on.
I don't really want to work there. I'd rather work at a passive.
All right, I'll pick up and finish that thought.
Okay.
Ready? 3, 2. It's just one of those things. Like, you're in a seasonal position, and it's not like a full-time job. If you're taking a seasonal position, that means you have your summers off generally from school or whatever, and you kind of want more time to spend with friends. And there have been adjustments made this year, but I think there's just that that undercurrent of people that have heard so many people before talk about it that kind of adds to it. But to what you were saying, when the stressors happen, somebody standing at Still Vengeance just yelling at the guy that has no control over it,
Yeah.
those people then get stressed out. They don't want to work there. That kind of all goes into it, where it's like, if you don't fix the problem soon, you're going to make the problem worse, because more and more people are going to say,
You're going to have
"No,
a surplus
I
of
had that time."
associates because of the environment and the climate that you've created leave, because it's
Exactly.
just so much anxiety, and it's almost it's like a burden on them because it's not their policies. I mean, imagine just having to sit there and take that. Sir, this is not, I don't make the policy, I enforce the policy. Like, it's sir or ma'am, whoever's yelling at you.
Right.
Yeah, so that's unacceptable. And you rightfully so earlier stated, when I said Cedar Point, said, hey, it's not just Cedar Point, it's Cedar Fair. I do want to get to Kings Island now. Well, actually, it's something that's not in the rundown, so don't look at the rundown for this. Right quick before we talk about the Cedar Fair stock situation, Kings Island is actually talking about right now, and this again correlates greatly to the treatment of the associates, that if you're coming to the park as an associate, you need to be there as an associate, as an employee. You should not be there playing at the park necessarily, which I think is total. That's unethical. That's like enslavement almost. Like, that's I mean, what is this? This is since when? If you take the time off, if you're not getting paid, why can't you go to the park? That is absurd. I think it's.
I guess because that's one more paying customer that they could get in the door before they hit capacity. Which, that's the thing.
Or maybe they
Last
think the
weekend,
associates will start
they hit
fighting too. I
capacity.
don't know.
Oh, that's a whole other thing. Wait,
Yeah.
that's on the list too, right?
That is. We'll get to
This
that.
is just a whole ball of like.
It is.
I don't
but
think
but
we've
it's
ever
so
had-
unreasonable. Sorry to state that. I mean, I have never heard of any company ever implementing such a policy. And again, this is strictly a rumor. Technically, I have no confirmed source for this, but it has been spreaded around that Kings Island is staying that, and that's kind of
Like,
the notion.
Hey, come work here. You get free tickets to Kings
You
Island.
get free
You're
tickets
just
to our
not allowed
park
use
that
them.
you cannot use and you cannot access. Exactly.
know-
I mean, it's just so wacky. I mean, that's the
all this stuff going on. If I owned a lot of Cedar Fair stock, I think I'd probably be selling it.
yeah. And Matt Ouimet, I think that's how you pronounce it, Bob.
Is that how you pronounce it?
I don't think it's Omit
Yeah.
or whatever you were saying earlier. Matt Ouimet, the executive chair member of Cedar Fair, sold 250,000 shares of Cedar Fair stock, which is equivalent to a total value of $11,727,500. An insane amount of money. And
He's,
rightfully so, people are a little concerned about that. That is not a great look if a higher up an executive is selling. That shows he doesn't have much faith in the company necessarily.
Yeah,
I mean, he
it's
might
kind of a
he might be leaving, he might be moving on, he might. I mean, there's
Or-
those what ifs and buts, but
buying a new house or something, I guess.
we're buying a SeaWorld Platinum Pass.
I mean, that's about that. The price kind of lines up.
That's a good price range. Yeah, I think that might be about what we're looking at.
Yeah, I mean, there definitely are. There's valid reasons for this. Life changes and stuff like that.
He might need an extra
Um,
11 mil. I mean, that's pretty common need for a lot of people, I
I
think.
mean, yeah, sure. You-
Never hurt to have an extra
mean,
11 mil in the bank.
a couple months ago, I needed, just
Yeah.
had. It was just a rough month. I had to go and I mean, it was. I only withdrew like 9 million.
Oh, okay. That's not necessarily as
yeah,
much,
what-
but yeah.
Ca- do- just let that sink in for a second. He sold 11 million. 11 million. I will never have that amount of money in my life. From like the time I was
Your net
born to
worth
the
will
time
never equate to everything you own, everything you possess, anything you've owned previously will never ever equivalent to that amount. I think I just,
it'll never happen.
yeah.
But anyway, um, there are some things that okay.
I think I
this
made up
may
a
not
word
be
there. Wait.
Something to be said about
Bob pulled up.
somebody who's if you're really focusing on a company, you're
Bob.
you're in charge of it and you feel like you're doing well.
Can you hear me
Why-
again?
I don't understand why this is happening.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're just out of sync.
I think I made up a word there for a second, so I'm kind of glad that happened. I don't think equivalent.
oh,
okay.
I didn't
To
hear
that
anything
amount.
you said. I didn't know you
Will
talked at
never
all.
ever equivalent. I think I made up a word, so it's okay.
This I really did you
Equate. That should be the word I used. Will never
did you
ever
did,
equivalent.
did Discord force you to update?
Equate. What? Are you still? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Will
Did
never
Discord,
ever equivalent.
when you opened Discord, did you have to update it?
No, I did not have to update it. Will never ever equate.
So when I opened Discord night, it forced me to download an
will
update.
never ever
install it,
equate.
and then when I installed it, it downloaded other updates. And like I can just tell,
Will never,
like there's
ever
parts of the client that
equate.
just look different. Like it was like a major change.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's what this is. I think that's what these issues. I've never seen Discord pull. It's using a full core of my CPU. I've never seen Discord use that much CPU ever.
Yeah, it's weird. Equate. I'm adding a word in because I think I said that.
Oh, that's a Walmart brand.
Equate.
Equate, yeah.
How do you know that? Why is that something you know? Will never ever
I don't know.
will never
I just
ever
happen
equate
to know it.
to that amount.
I know random useless facts about a lot of stuff.
I mean, I know a lot of random weird pop culture facts, but I would not know a brand of Walmart. Like I know, the Beatles did that, and I know, stupid things about movies and stuff, but a brand that Walmart possesses is not at all. Now I know, I guess. Now I'll know. Where were you at? I'm at 54.
Timmy knows. Timmy knows too. I'm at 50. You're what? I'm at 54.54.
Yeah, I think you kept talking while I was trying to tell you to stop talking, and because you couldn't hear me.
Oh yeah, because
So just go back to 30, and then
it
you
took
can
a
start with
while.
whatever you were saying, because that's what you started talking somewhere. Equate
well, I no
to that
hold
amount.
on. Wait, 54.30.
I think I just.
Oh wow, I don't.
You said what?
Hold on.
There's also something we said about somebody who's if you're really focused, you're really in charge of it and you feel like you're doing well.
Okay, I'll pick up. I'll continue the thought. You ready?
Where are we starting? Are you at you're at 524? 5424?
I'm at I'm at 54.54. I
What
said a
the hell?
lot. Like I'm just gonna pick up from there.
Oh boy, this is gonna be fun to edit. All right.
The problem is there's no way of knowing that our audio is in sync otherwise.
Equate to that amount. I mean, if you cut it to 524, I just finished saying something. I just finished saying there's no way to know that it would equate to that amount. Like, let me hear what I was saying. Your net worth will never. I said your net worth will like never equate to that amount. So if the next thing if you hear yourself going like, yeah, definitely not, or if you're still talking about net worth, that's where we were
Okay.
at.
Yeah. Okay. So 524.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on,
5424.
let me get a gist of what I was saying. After that, I'll just say it again. But
It'll never happen. But anyway,
oh, okay. I know where. Okay. All right, ready?
Yep.
Are you ready?
Oh, hold up.
All right.
The
3.
video connected thing is going wild. The bars. I don't want this to be an issue. Now it looks like it might be an internet issue. On my end now. I don't want to start if that's going to cause an issue, because that's going to be an automatic. Schnizzle poo. Oh boy. I'm back from outer space.
Back
Okay, I'll be
from
right
outer
back.
Space.
Hold up.
All right.
Has there been any buffering, or does it look alright? Here, I'm gonna change
It seems
Wi-Fi
seems
real
okay.
quick. I'm gonna see if my changing Wi-Fi does anything. All right, here we go.
All right.
I'm back.
And seems to be okay.
All right, maybe that was the issue. Hopefully, I just want this resolved.
I don't know. I just don't understand why it's using so much CPU on my side. It's not a good thing.
Yeah.
All right. Let's try it.
We're not even out of the
3.
first news segment. Oh my god. Phew. All right.
What?
I said we're not even out of the first news segment yet. Or I guess we are in the
I
second
know.
one. We gotta hurry this up a little bit.
All right. 3, 2. Yeah, that'll never happen. But there's something to be said about, I mean, late life events and things like that. Like, okay, there may have been a reason, but one of the problems is a lot of times, even when you're in those situations, CEOs, chairman, management generally doesn't want to, if they really care about the company they work for, they don't want to present that, like, they don't want that to be reported in a time that things are kind of like questionable. So it just kind of adds more to that. Like, unless this was like he really needed $11 million for something,
Yeah.
it just seems like not really a good idea, unless he just really thinks everything's just going to hell in a handbasket. I don't know. Like, anymore with the Cedar Fair stuff, it's like I'm done. All my anger is directed at Connie now,
Maybe just park
This is
chains in
just
general, because
all,
you
like-
kind of messed up with Palace too. Maybe you just got to stick out of that field of projecting and predicting what's going to happen.
Well, no, actually, the problem is Palace and Conneaut, I was both very, very positive about, and I
know, that's what I'm
I
saying.
actually defended them and thought, well, I'm not defending Cedar Point here or Cedar Fair.
But I'm saying
I
maybe
mean, I think
you
they're- I
taking
think
an
they're a
optimistic
train wreck.
approach to any chain or any park from now on should just be.
Yeah,
That's
so
an
all you
automatic
people
sign
think
that whatever
like,
Bob says is going to be the
I'm
opposite
just
of
being
what happens.
pessimistic. Yeah, everybody thinks, oh, Bob's just being pessimistic. Remember, that's the way I have to be because
It's a
the
burden
second
that
I
he
get
has.
optimistic about something.
It's the
But really,
it's-
seriously, this is just like one of the. It's like a train wreck. It's like I think this is all hilarious because they kind of brought it all on themselves in a sense. And like, what I think is really funny is if you look at Cedar Fair, Valley Fair, and like Dorney and the little parks are like kicking butt. They're like the only ones that are kicking butt. Which also I have to mention and give major props to Valley Fair for the major shot they took at King's Dominion
yes.
about building a volcano. Major props to Valley Fair for that. Love it, love it. But yeah, it's just so weird. It's like Cedar Fair's like this is like all the big money making parks are really just in massive turmoil right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a common, again, I said this earlier, common diction, common phraseology that we're seeing from the parks is, oh, we have great amount of workers, we're fine, we're adequate, we're doing all right, we'll manage. And Kings Island, on top of it all, we've talked quite a bit about Cedar Fair, but this is still sticking with Cedar Fair. On top of it all, Cedar Fair is now implementing that Kings Island will reduce hours as well because of worker shortages and because of the
Because why
wages
not?
increase that they had to implement this season. So, yeah, we're gonna see Kings Island close now at 11 to 8. I think that's like their pretty much year-round hours. So you're not going to get any Beast Night Rise this year, sadly.
And let me just mention, because I know there's people right now that are going, yeah, but they have to pay so much extra money on wages. Let me just remind you that Matt sold $11 million in stock. $11 million, okay? Do you know how, like, just think about that for a second. They're doing okay. I think they'll be okay. I mean, God forbid he, might have to drop $1 million or something, but like.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't want to hear that argument.
Yeah. All right. So the staff issue is obviously causing what they're saying a reduction in hours. This is happening through June 10th is right now, but I think I've heard that that's going to be year round. Right? I've heard that's kind of what they're going to be doing for the rest of the season almost.
Let me let you in on a little secret. I don't think Cedar Fair knows.
I don't even think
anybody
Kings
really
Island,
knows.
the very top of Kings
No.
Island knows.
Nobody knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Do you? Let me. I want to just mention. Do you remember? It's been probably a few months. Do you remember me saying how this year and possibly this decade was going to be like the year and decade for independent parks, minus a couple in Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Do you remember me saying that? Now,
I do.
mind you, when I said that, I didn't think that like all of the major chains were just gonna like fall to pieces.
I wouldn't say they all have though. I would say this is just solely a Cedar Fair issue this year. It seems so far.
That was an exaggeration for comic relief.
That wasn't funny.
But
I'm just kidding.
I don't care. But like the independent parks, I think so far, like people are really like the reports I'm seeing are really good from independent parks.
Yeah, I know. Cognac Lake is really doing some great things, I've heard.
I said except for that, you know, don't
But
get
that's
me started on
exactly
that
like
guy again.
that's like that's two of the biggest ones right there. Kennywood, Cognac.
Kennywood's not independent.
Oh, not Kennywood.
Waldameer.
Waldemere.
Waldameer is doing really well from what I see. Knoebels is doing really well.
We said
Hershey
excluding a
Park
few.
is
So
kicking
what
butt.
other family parks are you excluding? Just Cognac then?
Anybody that's independent, not a chain.
I realized that earlier. You said excluding a few parks in Pennsylvania, the independent parks are doing well. What other independent parks were you
Oh,
referring to?
Conneaut and Lakemont.
So Lakemont's not doing good either. In
Well,
your view?
Lakemont's not really. Lakemont's not an amusement park anymore.
Okay, so
That was what I was referencing.
All right.
I mean, I guess they're. I wouldn't say they're doing bad. They're just not.
they're just not amusement
They're
park.
right. They have a couple roller coasters, but they're not an amusement park. They're more like a YMCA that's outdoors and has a couple roller coasters.
All right, that's.
But
a
even
unique take.
our friend Daniel was there and said he had
Exactly. So he had a great time. So I was
great
wondering
time
what other
there.
parks you were referring to other than Cognac that's not doing so great.
Yeah, so Conneaut.
That's why I went to Kennywood because I was thinking, parks that aren't doing well. But then, yeah, it's not an independent park. But yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily the year of or the decade of independent parks yet. I don't know if that's what's coming to be. I think it's just Cedar Fair mismanaging and just poor decisions being made. I just don't get it. I mean, we talked about Cognac Lake making some bad business decisions. Some of the business decisions of Cedar Fair, which you think on a level of such high standards, I mean, it's a corporate park, it's publicly traded, it should have some pretty sensible and logical and rational people at the top there. I just don't see where some of these decisions are being made. Why would you open up your park knowingly understaffed to that many people and then blame the people for coming? Like, I just
Right,
I don't know.
It's your fault. It's your fault for being excited.
Yeah, it's your fault for wanting to come to our great
If you
park.
didn't
that
want to ride
hasn't been open since
Maverick, you wouldn't have had to
2019.
wait in that line.
Yeah. And then lastly, our final story, and we're not even halfway through the news segment. I know you guys are probably looking at the time and going, "Oh man, this is a hefty show," and it is. Second half hopefully won't be as hefty, but the first half we're not even close to done. Kings Island, sticking on the trend of Kings Island, they have had quite. It's not the opening weekend, but the opening weekend eve, the post, or the actual the successor to the opening weekend was a complete and total failure on so many accounts. There was packed, there were lines like Cedar Point, but most importantly, and most unbelievably,
nobody
there was
got along with anybody.
Yeah, like I said earlier, the associates might have even, maybe that's why they don't want associates there, because the associates might have even started fighting, because that's what happened this week at the park this weekend. The park had to close 30 minutes early Saturday because an extensive amount of fighting was occurring at the park between what they describe as teenagers and young adults. They had state troopers involved, they had highway patrol, they had local authorities involved. I mean, there was the whole shebang at Kings Island, monitoring and taking care of this. What seemed, I mean, this was like a complete wreck. I mean, I heard there were people fighting on every single area of the park, almost like the parking lots, the Eiffel Tower, the Coney Mall, like everywhere. So I mean, this was. I heard people were having to there was like a streamline of people, and they were just like bulldozing past the fights, like because there were people who were there obviously as just guests, not as delinquents, and they were trying to get past it. So there was just a streamline of people flowing past the fights, and it was just a shit show. I used that terminology earlier, but I got to do it again. There's nothing much more to say about it. It sounded crazy.
This was kind of a funny. I mean, funny in a sense. I saw this posted to Twitter. It was literally somebody, not Twitter, Reddit. Somebody posted on Reddit like, "Hey guys, what just went down at Kings Island?" It was something to that effect. And he said like, all of a sudden they were like closing and like employees were like rushing us out of the park. And then we saw security guards running, and then we saw police. Does anybody know what happened? And every now and then, like I get like this really huge curiosity that drives me, and I subscribe to Broadcastify so that I can actually go to scanner streams and look at the or like listen to archives from like the past 30 days or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, you know what? I wonder, if it was that big, maybe the local police got involved, and maybe there's something on the scanner.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This guy said around 9:30. I started listening around then, and there was some like really weird stuff going on. Like I heard some references. Is this in regards to the incident at Kings Island? And I'm like, okay, well, it must be before that. But then I hear them talking about people calling 911 and hanging up. Like in this segment of audio I was listening to, I'm not kidding you, like there were more than a dozen people that just like called 911 and hung up, which I don't understand what was going on there. I'm like, that just sounds really bizarre. But then it sounded like,
Yeah,
oh,
that
maybe I
does.
need to go back. And I kept going back. They're in half-hour segments of audio, and I kept going back. And it was like every time I went back, there was something else that happened. There was something else that happened. And there was one piece of audio where like literally you just heard, I think it was Mason PD, an officer, like you just heard and like dispatchers like, could you please repeat, like I didn't catch that. And somebody else like interpreted it for her and said he's in a fight at Kings Island. And it basically went on and was like, well, how, like, send backup. They're sending backup. Like, what do you need? We need like literally he said everybody. I'm not kidding. Like, he didn't say like whoever, he said everybody. He needs as many people as he could get. And it just went on from there. Like you could hear in the background yelling and screaming. And at one point, yeah, I actually even heard them report that pepper spray was being used on the officers. Not the officers were deploying pepper spray on the guests, but the guests were deploying pepper spray on the officers. It was just bizarre. If I just kept going back, and like finally, like it was like I spent like 3 hours. I'm like, I need to go to bed. So I know there's a whole bunch of there that I missed, but yeah, check out broadcastify.com. You can go to Ohio and Warren County, and you can find it on the police dispatch south, I believe. You have to subscribe to it. I think it's like $15 for 6 months, but it could be entertaining. I think this was on the 23rd. Was that? I think this was the 23rd.
I think that is about when that occurred, yeah. It was the Saturday, so yeah, no, it was the 22nd.
Yeah,
22nd.
22nd. So yeah, listen to the archives from May 22nd.
Yeah.
It's pretty entertaining.
And while there were brawls at Kings Island, I'm ready to brawl someone at Great Adventure, Six Flags Great Adventure, because they released an ad saying that Jersey Devil coaster is coming in May 2021, and I think we both know that's not happening unless this thing opens this weekend. Which, I mean, that's the rest of May, but I don't see that happening. So, and then the thing is, people went to comment, hey, is this true or is this not true? What's going on? Is it opening? Is it not? On Twitter, I think Instagram, people were commenting. They kept responding. We still do not have an official date, blah, 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 blah. So my question is, like we talk about Kings Island having bad marketing. Sure, they have a different case of bad marketing, but this is bad marketing because what is this? This is false information. You're posting a post about coming May 2021, but you're not actually sticking true to that. You're saying you still don't know, and it's still up in the air, and you have no idea. So
Really,
it's like, I'm a little
I think
flustered with
I think
this.
that the stupidity of this is they didn't just like blank out the May part. Like,
No,
what,
I mean,
come on, before. Unless the only other thing, I don't know how. I mean, this was all advertisements on Instagram. That's where, and I think some Facebook and stuff. But I don't know how the advertising works. I don't know if you like have to like. Was this a campaign that was already scheduled and set, and they didn't have the ability to go and edit? I don't know. That's speculation.
No, they would have the
I don't
availability to
know.
delete it, yeah, or change it.
I mean, you would think, but
I
mean,
know.
I'm
As
sure
someone who uses Instagram and Facebook, and I've, it's called like the boost, your boost your engagement. That's like a thing where you can put the ads and stuff. That's what this was.
Okay.
Even if their only option was to delete it, that's a better option, and I know you can do that. So it's just poor
I think
decision completely. I mean, this show's just full of them, but this is definitely one of the worst. To okay this, and then not stay true to it, or at least like be like that was a mistake. We're sorry. Like nothing. It's just no, we don't have any dates still. So it's like, what was the point of the ad then?
my
Just
my thought is
Post a photo of the ride or something. I don't know.
they are actually trying to get it open for this weekend, but they know it's going to be tight. I think this thing's going to open a lot sooner than people think.
Oh, I do too.
I don't know that
I think we could see
it's
June. I don't know if we see
Yeah.
May.
But I
Just trying
think
to-
that may be the thing. So I think this is kind of the situation they're in. And just humor me on this because this is a thought that just kind of plays out. I'm not saying this is the case, but hey, we want to try to open it for Memorial Day, but we don't know that we can. So we're not going to make the statement and then have people come on Memorial Day and say, hey, you told us, blah, blah, blah.
We're gonna post an
and
ad
have
that
people
says
get
that.
angry. I know that's different. But I'm not defending the choice of like having the ad say that, but I kind of feel like that might be where they're at.
That's fine.
They kinda
and,
want
and
to.
I'm nothing wrong with that. If that's their intent, if that's what they plan on eventually doing, opening it and trying to open it in May, go for it. Have fun. Just don't post something like this that clearly states. I mean, they could not have. I mean, it doesn't say. Like they couldn't be like, oh, well, we mistyped 4. It should have been a 5 or whatever, or 5 and it should have been a 6. Whatever. It's May. I mean, it is May. There's no misspelling it. There's no whatever. I mean, this is clearly what they were intending to post. So either say it's wrong, say it's right, but don't do this like, I don't know. I think it's just poor PR and it's poor marketing. That's all. And I'm not happy with this decision. I mean, it's not all, I'm not enraged like Bob. I'm not going to start yelling and screaming and cussing and this isn't Cognac Lake or
mean-
anything. I'm not saying I'm not upset or any. I mean,
life,
I just
life
think it's-
goes on. This
exactly.
doesn't bug me at all.
life goes on, exactly. But it's just a poor decision, I think. And it's a little it's not like I'm going to plan on go to this park this weekend because of this, nor would I, even if they were opening it necessarily. But for people, especially locals, I'd be kind of upset if I was like, well, I have a commitment, but I'm willing to skip out if they're opening Jersey Devil, which they said they are, but then they said they're not. Like, it's just, yeah, it's annoying is what it is.
Let me just say, how many different dates was Iron Gwazi supposed to open? Wasn't it supposed to like open in 2020?
Yes,
And
it
then
was.
It was coming in spring of 2021.
Yes. And
Then
now
they were
it's
anticipating
indefinitely-
2021.
And now it's an indefinite date, 2021 maybe.
I mean, I think I'll give Great Adventure some slack because
Nah. I don't know, Bob. I think that's a blatant decision to post this ad as opposed to Busch Gardens Tampa is just being weird. That's the best way to put that. They're just being weird. I don't know why they haven't announced an opening day. I was like, well, maybe it's because they're, it was like kind of a pissing match between them and Universal. Which one was going to break first? You know, like, oh, back and forth. You know, it's a campaign. They're trying to build up. Ooh, and now I'm just like, I don't know what the heck they're doing.
I honestly, I don't think it makes business sense for them to open Iron Gwazi right now.
I don't agree with, but let's move on. RMCs, Iron Gwazi, Fun Spot America getting an RMC, or they have a
They're getting Iron
partnership.
Gwazi.
Yeah, that's what it is. They're moving it down. They're moving it down, doing it down the road to Fun Spot America. Actually, up the road.
up the
Yeah,
road.
to Atlanta, not to Orlando. I was thinking this was Orlando for some reason. But yes, this is going to be at the Atlanta Fun Spot
Atlanta's
America.
still up the road.
Well, yeah, but I guess down is used interchangeably as just a word that means it's being moved. I mean, I've heard
Okay,
people
you
say
go
down
on- you go on
yonder
with that.
when they actually
If
just
you s-
mean, you know, come on, cut me some slack here, man. We've been talking about Cedar Fair for 3.5 hours, so.
Well, it's not our fault that Cedar Fair's being incompetent.
No, it's not. No. It is your fault for filling the rundown to the brim with their incompetence, though. I mean,
I'm sure there's probably like 3 other stories that we missed that
Yeah,
could have
probably.
easily fit into that.
probably. I mean, I found one with the Kings Island thing. That wasn't even supposed to be a part of the rundown until we stopped for some reason. And I looked down and saw that. But yeah, Fun Spot America in the Atlanta. This is a park that I actually was thinking about going to this year. I'm kind of glad I didn't because I don't know if I'd want to revisit. You know, now I would definitely want to go, but you know, I don't know if I want to revisit again if I'd already gone, because the park has 1 or 2 rides. I think it's 2 coasters. One is it's like a really old, wacky, wild mouse type ride. It's not a wild mouse. It's like I don't know. Whatever I say is going to be wrong. If I say what I think it is, I'll be wrong. And if I say what I don't think it is, it'll be wrong too. They have.
James, you're always wrong.
It's like a Mauer or something weird like that, or like an E&F Miller. That's what it is. I was completely off. I was thinking that, but then I was like, no, it's Mauer. But whatever. They have the E&F Miller, High Miller coaster, which actually I rode one of these in Orlando. I think they have one of these at their Orlando parks as well. It was really fun. They have one of those, and they have a kiddie coaster, and now they're getting an RMC. So I would have been a little bit on the fence about revisiting, but now that I haven't visited, I'm going to go down because I think it's pretty expensive. I'm going to go down. I'm going to visit once I go down to Six Flags Over Georgia again. I'm really looking forward to it. I think this is, drumroll please, a family RMC. I think this is going to be one of the family RMCs that we just talked about not too long back. This seems to correlate perfectly with the timing of the announcement of the family hybrid coaster, and this is a park that doesn't need a humongous RMC to draw in guests. I think they can easily draw in these guests with a smaller RMC. There's already an RMC at Fun Spot Over Georgia, so maybe to differentiate it a little bit, they're going to make it a family coaster, allow some younger guests to get on it. I think that's what we're looking at.
Fun Spot Over Georgia?
Fun Spot Over Georgia. Yep. Phew. I'm telling you, man, that Cedar Fair
Flags
crap
and spots,
took a
man, they're
toll on my
interchangeable.
brain. The Cedar Fair crap took a major toll on my brain.
I actually do agree with you. I
Wow,
kinda think
what?
it's
Hold
gonna
up,
be-
you agree with me? I'm just kidding.
I do. I think the family coaster makes sense.
Yep, I think that's what we're looking at. I just do. Yeah, and I don't think there's much more to it. It's a partnership. It's coming in 2022.
That's
That's all
another
that can be
key.
said.
The fact that it's a partnership
Yeah,
makes
that wording
me more
intrigued me and sparked my interest.
RMC's like, hey, we need somewhere to put one to try it out. We'll go in half and half with you or something like that. The fact that it's a partnership that kind of to me points to something new and different and unique that, is kind of like, RMC testing the waters kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's possible that we just see another RMC, and this is just the first step along a journey of RMCs for fun spot parks. I don't know.
Time will tell.
Yeah, I mean, and
Possibly.
you got two great wooden coasters at both the fun spot parks, and RMC wouldn't hurt. Hopefully, it's not like a RMC retracking of Mind Blower or White Lightning, because both those rides are great.
Well, those are different parks, so
But they're both fun spot parks.
yeah.
So hopefully this partnership does not entail them.
Well, no, the partnership it specifically says Atlanta, so
No, I think this is a partnership for fun spot parks in general. I think that's possibly what we're looking at.
oh, I was under the impression it was for this ride. It was like a partnership on the ride.
I'm thinking this is just a partnership with Fun Spot in general, because it's a Fun Spot America theme parks. That's the website. It's not just like to me that like this news was released on the Fun Spot America theme parks website. You go and then you click what parks you want to go to, the Atlanta park, the Kissimmee park. So to me, this is a deal with Fun Spot.
Okay, I mean that may be. I don't have
that's
anything
what the
to,
angle I'm coming at. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but that's what my interpretation of this is. So hopefully we don't see again. To get back to that.
Yeah, I don't know. It says that like the image does say it says partnership with Rocky Mountain Construction, new roller coaster arriving 2022. So it can, I think it. I mean, both of our theories could fit into that. We could both be wrong.
Okay.
Somehow.
Yeah. I feel like there's only two options here, but there'll be a third somehow.
But
yeah.
they'll find a way. They'll find a way to make us wrong.
Yep. It'll be like, no, we actually bought a new park, and that's the park that the RMC is going to, or something. I don't know. Lastly, on our lengthy rundown is SeaWorld, or SeaWorld, not just SeaWorld Orlando, but SeaWorld, the SeaWorld CEO in particular, saying that the company plans to extend and expand their reach by building new hotels and new rides in the Orlando and other locations. So there's that. That's pretty much the sum of this article. It's not
I think we kind of
too
had that feeling.
detailed.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
it's kind of like we knew this was kind of their plan. They're going to be investing and continuing to expand, and this isn't really necessarily too much news, but it is confirmed from Mark Swanson, the CEO of the company now, that is the plan. That is 100% their intent. So a tiny sliver of good news coming out of this news segment, with the RMC and the fact that SeaWorld is going to be expanding some.
The thing that would be interesting, like there's nothing they could do in Orlando, like as far as turning into resort. I mean, Universal and Disney's got that, but like, what about San Antonio and San Diego? Like, could they get to a point where they're actually like the destination there? More so,
San Antonio isn't. I don't think it has the opportunity to, because it has the surrounding parks like Six Flags, Fiesta Texas. Over Texas isn't too drastically far.
But that's what I'm.
And the same
kind
thing
of
with
my
San
point.
Diego.
But where SeaWorld Orlando is in the shadow of like Disney and Universal, Six Flags could become the shadow of SeaWorld in San Antonio.
Yeah, I don't see that.
I
think both those parks. I think both those parks are. Well, I think Fiesta Texas is better. First off, I think Fiesta Texas just has a better collection, a better atmosphere, a better environment. All the bases are covered there. To have that happen, there would have to be an pervasive amount of work done on the park. You'd have to have a lot of work done on the park. I like SeaWorld San Antonio a lot, but I don't think it's
SeaWorld's
I don't think it's in the
dumping money,
climate to
Six Flags isn't dumping money.
No, but I think to even reach the level that Six Flags Fiesta Texas is at, they would have to do a lot of work. So I don't know if
Listen,
this is becoming
I'm
a
not
resort
saying this
destination.
is going to happen.
But the theory in itself, I don't think it's possible because I don't think SeaWorld San Diego has that potential, and I don't think even if it did get to that point that people would choose it over SeaWorld, Six Flags Fiesta Texas. That's all I'm saying. And the same thing with San Diego because
That's the thing. You don't
Los
choose
Angeles is
one
like an
over the
hour
other.
and a half away. Like people are going to go to
It's
Disney and
both.
Universal anyway.
You're going to do both. That's the point.
You're
No,
saying it's
San
become a resort
Antonio.
destination, Bob. I don't think it's a resort destination. That's my final say. All right.
You do realize that like vacation for me used to be staying at a motel and going to Geauga Lake and SeaWorld, Ohio, right? Like that was a destination for us.
For
It
you,
wasn't very far away, but
yeah.
okay, I'm the only one like me. I mean,
no, but I don't
sometimes
think
yes, but
you are quite a drop in the bucket. But I mean, I don't know. I don't think these parks have the potential to become those kind of resorts. I mean, and even SeaWorld. I mean, Geauga Lake was a big park, and it had a lot of
no, it wasn't.
draw to it.
Geauga Lake was not a big park.
I'm not talking about size. I'm talking about its recognition and its name. Like people knew it.
Not really.
You
They know
obviously
it now
You knew it, and you were from Pittsburgh.
because it was in my region. It was
How
the
far was
region I
Geauga
grew
Lake
up
from you,
in.
Bob? How far? Like
Well, I mean, if you drove now, like 2 hours, but then probably like 4.
that's. I wouldn't say that's in your region. That's like saying Hershey's in my region or something. That's not true. Hershey's 3.5, 4 hours from me. It definitely was a park that I think, and it also had. It had its draw. It had its audience. I just don't think SeaWorld San Diego is that park. It's just not. It doesn't have enough pizzazz or marketability. It's a good
Listen,
park.
the
It's
whole point of what I was saying, though,
that
they're
they're going to
putting
do-
money into it. That's the whole point.
I don't think it has the potential, even if they pour money into it. I mean, if they pour money into it, I get if they pour like hundreds of millions of dollars, obviously any park could become a resort. I don't think it has that potential with the money that they're going to invest in it and with the actual course of action they're going to take for it. And even if they were to say, let's make this a resort, I think it would take a crap load of money.
I didn't say it was like happening next year. I didn't say it was happening at all.
You didn't. I'm talking on a theoretical. My original comment was purely going along with your theoretical thing, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that. Then you were like, well, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no. So I don't think so. San Diego's too close to Los Angeles to me. If they were to make that, I mean, it's like an hour and a half away. People are going to choose Disney and Universal over it any day.
No, that and San Antonio was really the main one I was thinking of because it's kind of like there are some parks around and there's not that one. Who knows?
I think it's more likely that Busch
SeaWorld
Gardens
does
Williamsburg
crazy
becomes a resort destination than SeaWorld San Diego. Let's put a SeaWorld San Antonio. Let's put it that way. I think Busch Gardens Williamsburg has more potential. It has a better lineup already. It has a better atmosphere already. It has a better everything already. If they were to invest in it, it would be a lot easier to transform Busch Gardens Williamsburg into one than it would be San Diego or San Antonio. That's all. I'll just put it that way. That's my Busch Gardens Tampa even. I mean, that's a park that isn't really necessarily a resort yet. But I think that has a good potential. They don't have any hotels built up around it. They don't have any attractions outside of the park. It's just the park itself. So that would be a good one. I could go along with that logic with Busch Gardens Tampa. Faux show. I just say, once you go to San Antonio, you might see what I'm saying. Like you'll go and you'll be like, yeah, I just can't envision this park.
Hey, Dutch Wonderland's a resort now with Cartoon Network Hotel.
All right. Second half of the show, we're gonna go on to it. We're talking nonsense now.
I mean, they are.
It is, but what is that? Why does it matter? What relevance did anything we're discussing? 'Cause we're talking about SeaWorld.
You're saying the park's too small and doesn't
It's
have
not too
the
small.
atmosphere.
It's actually a pretty big park. All right, let's just go on. I don't care about this enough to even put forth this effort. Second half of the show, we're going to be talking about the best lighting packages on roller coasters. We're also going to be kind of having more of an informal discussion about our park trips previously and future park trips coming up. All of that is happening right after the break. Oh, I can't believe we're only in the second half of the fucking show. Jesus. That discussion wasn't necessary.
No, why don't you like? Why can't I just make a statement and say, I think that's possible? Like,
Why can't I just
like,
make
you're
a statement like,
absolutely
yeah,
wrong.
no,
There's
I
no
think
way.
based on what I've experienced that since I've been to the effing park, I don't think that's something, but I wasn't trying to have a big debate. I was just trying to say, nah, I don't know about that. From my point of view, I don't see that. Am I just supposed to agree with everything you say? I could just next
I don't
time
know.
be like, all right, whatever, sure.
If we made logical sense, our show would suck.
I could just be like, all right, Bob. All right, cool. If I don't agree with nothing, that would be the worst show ever, though.
I don't understand how people listen to us.
I don't know. Phew. I'm sweating. I don't know if it's like hot in my house or if I'm just like worked up or what.
I'm like, no joke. After the Conneaut Lake segment, my head was pounding.
I'm gonna go turn
Like,
my
I
AC
was
down.
real-
Hold up, I'm like sweating. I'm like. It's hot as balls in here. Oh my god. 75 degrees. Can we get 70? I'm sweating. I know, because that makes noise and the microphone picks it up. The fan makes noise and the microphone picks up the fan.
Do you want any other fan, like a blue fan?
It is 75 degrees in my house. That's why. It's hot as balls.
Look, buy one get two free fireworks.
And I really wanted to stop at Phantom when we went through Pennsylvania, but my mom wouldn't let me. That's pretty cool. Are you gonna buy some fireworks when you're up there this weekend?
Oh, there's a box of fireworks at my parents'. There usually is a box of an assortment of fireworks at my parents'. It's cool because I was even able to do it before they were legal in Pennsylvania, because I could still buy them in Pennsylvania because I lived out of state. But now they're all completely legal, so I don't have to worry as much.
Gotcha.
Although they're more expensive now. I think fireworks, now that they're legal, Pennsylvania made the fireworks tax like 17% or something like that.
That's crazy.
Anyway, what I was saying, like, after that Conneaut segment, my head was absolutely pounding. Like, I was that angry that my head started hurting. I've never been so, there's just not words.
You were definitely mad.
Indeed.
All right, are you ready? Let's try that. This second half
Yep.
should be pretty short.
Don't ever say that.
Bob, I'm not saying
You
it
know
should be,
better.
actually. I'm saying it must be. For the sake of my
Every time
sanity
you
and the sanity
said
of those
that,
watching, it must be. We want to be mentally stable as we exit the show tonight. Correct, everyone in the chat? If not, I guess we could go on forever, but...
Being mentally stable is overrated.
Oh, God. Help me. All right, here we go.
3, 2.
And we're back from the break. Time to talk a little bit informally, a little bit not typically how we do this. Typically we have a set schedule or itinerary or rundown here that we follow to a T, and we got like different segments we got to talk about. But we're just gonna kind of talk about parks that we
In
visited.
James's head,
Nah,
there's a
what we
plan.
typically
in my
see.
head, there's never a plan.
No, what we typically
There's a-
see come to suit is a plan and a rundown. But yeah, we're having a more spontaneous and unnatural discussion here. Just gonna
And I
talk about
usually
the
take
parks we
care of that
visited.
I usually take care of that with a rabbit trail.
Typically, but this time it's planned. All right, this time everything under control. We're good. We can continue.
So
Until someone brings up Cognac Lake, and then Bob just.
yeah, no. Gotta touch a little bit on Palace though. So this weekend I decided. I think it was after the show last week. After we recorded last week, I said, I think I should go to Hershey this weekend, which would have been last weekend.
Yeah, and then you brought up Storm Runner maybe opening, and then that didn't happen.
Yeah, I was just kind of like, I don't know, maybe I will, maybe I won't. Then I was like, I woke up, I was gonna go Friday night, I didn't. And Saturday I decided, you know what? I think maybe, like I woke up and I'm like, I don't know. And I think it was like maybe noon, like 11 or noon. I'm like, you know what? I need to go process my Dutch Wonderland season pass because I'm going to be in Pittsburgh this weekend. And just in case I would end up going to Kennywood, I don't see that happening. But just in case, I wanted to have my season pass process so I could stop. I'm like, you know what? I might as well just drive up to Dutch Wonderland, get it processed, and I'll take a few spins on Merlin's Mayhem. And then we'll see what time it is. Maybe I'll go to Hershey for a few rides on something. This was the second weekend that Dutch Wonderland was open. And this means that everybody that bought season passes is processing their season pass, right? I mean, this is your first visit, right?
Yeah.
Their season pass processing center was closed. Their ticket sales counters were closed. All of these things were being handled by two people in guest services
Wow.
who were also handling guest services. It took me
This is
over
just
an hour
Continuing
to get my season
the
pass
trend of
processed.
just poor park management. That just seems like as witnesses, as people who have bared witness to it, guys, it's just going to be the norm this year. Sadly, it seems that just bad experience after bad experience after bad experience is going to happen. So just brace yourselves. Don't go to all these new parks
be
expecting
ready.
fantastic experiences and
I mean, the thing
I
is,
don't think you're going to see that from most parks.
It's gonna be busy. Like I expected it to be extremely busy, but holy crap! Like they have this entire season pass processing center with queues that optimize everything. And no, we're all standing in line in front of this window to get our it was. You couldn't be any more inefficient. Like there was just nothing. And then people were like, "Oh, we want to buy tickets," but no, you can't just walk up to the ticket window. You have to go through guest services. Everybody was literally waiting in this one line.
Yeah,
It was unreal.
You're
Like
just-
who does that? Like, do you expect people not to be processing their season pass on the first day they're going to the park?
you're just not going to have any
Crying out loud.
great experiences, I think, or flawless experiences. There's going to be some conflicts at parks, which sucks.
So,
I think definitely more than often, more than we're used to. So more often than we're used to.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. They're all going to be packed.
Packed, poor
That's
staffing.
for certain.
You
But
know,
the staffing
staff is
issue, yeah.
undertrained because a lot of these people are new. So yeah, just take all that into account. Going to all these new parks might not be the best decision if you are looking for kind of a flawless or immaculate experience. That's just not going to happen. I don't think this year. You're not going to get that perfect experience.
Yeah. So anyway, I got into the park eventually, and I got my ride on Merlin's Mayhem. One ride. It was I'd never seen a line like that for Merlin's Mayhem. The dispatches were terrible. They were so terrible, and this is not a joke. I walked the entire perimeter of the coaster to get some short videos and some pictures and stuff. I was repositioned, walked the whole way around, repositioned, standing there, ready to take a picture, and still had to wait like multiple minutes before the next dispatch happened. That's how bad. Like, I completely moved to the other side of the coaster, positioned myself and everything before they even got another dispatch in.
So you were looping around the perimeter and still having
It was
that's pretty bad.
it was
mean-
unreal. It was absolutely unreal.
Yeah, it's just
And-
that's just has to do with, again, a lot of these people working rides this year are brand new, undertrained, not trained at all in some cases. Like, it's just sadly is
Yeah.
just the norm this year.
And I mean, in some, like, see, I think that's the thing too. I probably would have given them the Merlin's Mayhem thing, but the guest services thing, like, not having, just take one of those people out of guest services and put them in the season pass processing center. That would have made things so much more efficient because they actually had the equipment to do the job properly in the season pass process, and you could turn over people a lot faster. Like, just use some. It was
Common
just it was
sense.
just everything. Everything was just horrible. It was. I mean, I just couldn't believe the. It was just bad.
As you can see on
and
the
then-
show, we're not neuroscientists, we're not physicists, we're not highly intelligent people, but these kind of problems have somewhat easy solutions, and yeah, it just doesn't
Yeah.
make sense to me how sometimes parks can't come to this.
The
kind
the
of
the thing that upset me
conclusion.
most of all was Merlin's Mayhem actually was running sluggish, and I mean, it was still fun. I still really liked it, but it wasn't up to the hype that the last time I rode it. It was still really good. I don't want to say it was bad or anything, but like, it just felt sluggish. I hope that was just like, it just has to warm up or something.
That it wasn't some sort of modification that they made. Yeah, I hope so.
Like, at this point I was just like, I just want to go home. I just want to go home. And then I was like, you know what? No, I'm literally driving right through Harrisburg to go home. Why not stop at Hershey? Even if I get one ride,
Mhm.
that's one ride that I didn't have. So I stopped at Hershey. This park was so packed, and they were on top of everything. It, like, dispatches were amazing. They were just like bang 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 move. Skyrush, they're like, they were barely stacking trains on Skyrush. Like, that's where trains usually sit. I mean, like, the whole park. I mean, I didn't really get to the back of the park. I didn't have enough time. I only rode Skyrush and Candemonium. Two amazing coasters, but like, just standing in line at Skyrush, you just, there's all those coasters there, and they're just like constant train after train after train on all of the coasters. Like, they got it together, and I'm sure that they're also having hiring issues as well, but they're managing things better, apparently. I mean, they're doing a really, really good job. Unreal how good. I got on Skyrush in less time than it took me to get on Merlin's Mayhem. It took me an hour to get on Merlin's Mayhem. It took me like 45, 50 minutes to get on Skyrush.
Not bad. Not
Um,
bad at all.
Candemonium was kind of funny. I waited in line. This is going to shock you, James. You're
You
not
wrote
going
it
to
in the
believe
back row.
this. Brace yourself. Are
Please.
you ready?
What?
The park closed at 7 p.m. At 6:55 p.m., they were still letting people in line for Candemonium.
Excellent.
Can you
Excellent.
believe
I
that?
cannot believe it. No,
That's
that's crazy.
insane,
That's just that
man.
notion is so crazy and nonsensical. I don't get it. No.
But it gets even better.
So you wrote it in the back row, and you finally understand that it's
No,
better in the
God,
back
no,
row.
who would ride that in the back row? Come on.
Only people with common sense, I guess. Yeah, I forgot.
Nope. You're like the only person I know
Me
that
and Timmy.
likes that in the back row. Timmy's wrong too. Doesn't matter. Anyway,
We're the only ones with the legitimate opinions on that ride.
whatevs. Anyway, so there's like, I mean, it's right at 7 o'clock when I'm boarding the train, and there's like, another 45 minutes worth of people behind me, right?
Yeah, sure.
I'm on the train, restraints are locked, we're cleared for dispatch. They actually cleared us for dispatch. The phone rang. Down for weather. Popped restraints, got back in line. This staff, no joke, stayed there and waited 20 minutes for it to stop raining. It stopped raining. They were given permission to open.
Thunder.
They had to do three test cycles. On the third test cycle, it started raining again.
So what? We can't run in the rain?
Yeah, they said Candemonium does not run in the rain. They do not run in the rain at all.
That must be a Hershey
Yeah,
Park thing.
yeah.
That has to be a Hershey Park thing because I've
know,
ridden
it was-
B&M Hypers in the snow. I've ridden
Oh,
them
I
in the
have
rain.
too.
I've ridden them in the
Yeah,
the
I don't
hail,
know.
maybe even.
Anyway,
I don't know.
regardless, that was what was going on. So they continue to wait another 15 minutes. And it quits raining again. They let us on, and they continued to load everybody and let everybody in line.
I thought you were gonna say big thunderclap. I'm just kidding. That
Nope.
one.
Everybody in line actually got to ride. People got in line at 6:55,
And
and they got to ride.
oh my god,
They got to ride.
they got to get in on the ride. That's Cedar Fair is quaking in their boots right now. What?
But the thing was, like, the employees were like having fun with it.
I know.
That's the
That's the
thing,
point.
like,
That's what I'm saying. Is that
that-
the associates know that this is the part of their job. Like that's part of the job. That's part of the fun. Is like staying after. And I mean, it is. So to me, that notion of it's helping the associates. No, the associates when they sign up for this job understand that they're gonna. I mean, it's specifically stated you're gonna have to stay after, close down your eye. Sometimes there will be people after, and you're just gonna have to deal with it. And that's not like a bad thing. Sometimes it's actually quite fun. So, yeah, that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
That people are trying to defend Cedar Point by going, "Oh, it's for the associates." I'm like, no, it's not. It's for money.
mean,
they want it's for money.
There's arguments. It's
for money.
There's a whole we're
It's
not
for
going
staffing
down
and it's for money. Come on, let's be real here, guys.
that.
Let's not try to make Cedar Fair out to be these saviors that care so much about their associates.
Oh, they're not saviors.
They're not
I mean, I think
trying
there's-
to help their associates here. That's not. If
There's
it
a
was, if
point,
this
like-
was this policy would have been in place for years if that was the case. Why all of a sudden now this policy being in place that you can close the rides down an hour early? I don't want to get into this whole thing again now that I think about it, but
Even though you went on like 2 minutes after I said
yeah.
I'm not going down that rabbit trail.
yeah. No, all right. Hershey Park. Continue. Candemonium.
Yeah.
Rain rides.
Bottom line is Hershey Park is just kicking ass. Man, they're just on top of things. It's unreal.
Yep.
And I've heard this from other people as well. They're just an amazing park. Definitely stop by there. I mean, even like I watched, I could see the flood of people leaving as I was standing there waiting for the rain delay. And I'm telling you, it was just a solid, just flood of like full pathway the whole way across, people just flooding out the gates. Like there were just so many people in that park.
It's just like a continual influx of people.
Yeah, and even when I got off at like, what was it? 20 till quarter till 8, there were still that many people coming, just like constant flood. Still, just like the amount of people was just unreal. It was just unreal.
And I think we're gonna see that. I think we're gonna
Um,
see at all parks this year like astronomical levels of people.
Yeah, and it's all going to be about managing, just managing things properly, and Hershey did an amazing job at it. And I
Indeed,
was so
sounds like
glad
they
that I
did.
went there because, I mean, after Dutch Wonderland, I was just bleh. But
You,
Hershey
you needed
literally cared.
some Hershey
Yes,
love and
I
tender care.
absolutely did. Absolutely.
All right. Well, I haven't been to any parks recently, so other than Cedar Point, I can't. We don't want to go down there again. So let's talk about the future. What does the future hold? Well, in about a week, we talked about this a little bit at the beginning. We're going to Hollywood Nights, Bob.
Yes,
Hollywood Nights.
coming up.
It's coming. And I
Coming up
always sing
fast.
that. I always sing the Hollywood Nights in those Hollywood Hills, the Bob Seger song. That's always my anthem as I drive up to the park, and I'll blast it on the way to the park as well. I know Timmy, Alex, Thomas will probably, and Daniel will probably be pretty tired of that song by the time we leave the park that Sunday. But the itinerary's been released, so maybe we'll go over that real quick for people. And I posted to the poll. I posted to the Instagram story a poll of, here's the itinerary. If any of you are going, how many of you are going? And I kid you not, a majority of people responded that they're going. So I think it's pretty relevant to our audience, actually. I think it was like 40 people voted and like 55 or 60% said they're going. Let's see. Let me see if I'm still... So 55%. Yeah, so 22 people voted they're going. Only 18 said no. So a majority of the people possibly listening to the show are going, which is pretty funny to me. It's just
And
such a great event.
the ones that aren't going are probably going to Coaster Mania, right?
Hopefully that's what's going on. Hopefully they're splitting off and diverging, and half the people going over there, half the people going over there, because I don't want it to be packed like last year. As I know it'll upset you too, and it'll upset me if it's as packed as it was last year. It was crazy packed. I mean, ERT was an hour and a half wait for Voyage, which is crazy. Hopefully that's not what happens.
Yeah.
This year, we have the itinerary out. It's going to be a great event. I'm really looking forward to it. I guess we can just go through it real quick. So 6:15, you're going to get there. 6:30 to 8:30, you have ERT at Splash and Safari, which is honestly one of my favorite parts of this event. You don't get water park ERT that much, and I think it's such a unique experience. And it's a great water park. It's one of the best water parks I've been to, and I'm really looking forward to it again.
Yeah.
That's something I look forward to. Like, that's one of my favorite parts of this event.
I'm not a water park guy, but I actually enjoy that. Those coasters, those water coasters are good. And
You get
Cheetah,
to Cheetah Chase, yeah.
actually get.
Really
That was
fun.
the plan last year. We really wanted to, like, my family really wanted to do that, but we were there the week before the water park opened.
That sucks. Yeah, so you'll get to finally get on that. That's exciting. Then at 7 p.m., so this is happening while the ERT is happening, that the park will close to the public. 7:30 to 11, we got ERT on Thunderbird, Voyage, Legend, and Raven, like normal. Got a great amount of time on those rides. Gobbler Getaway ERT ensues at 7:30 as well. And I know Daniel was joking around and saying it wasn't enough ERT on Gobbler's Getaway, so he had to get a refund. I don't know if he's looking into that still or what. We'll see. Then we get Turkey Whirl, Crow's Nest ERT. You get a meal at the Picnic Grove, the Good Old Days Picnic Grove from 8:30 to 10. Get Mayflower and Hallow Swings ERT, which is some of their smaller rides there. One of their pirate ship rides and their swing ride. Then you have an online auction, and then at 11 the ERT ends, which is great. Last year the hours were 10 and 11. This year they're closing both nights at 11 and 12, so they're going back to their typical hours, which is great. Because it wasn't enough time, to be honest. It just didn't feel like enough night rides were being had.
Yeah.
So it's good to see 11 and 12 again. So Saturday, and this is where I'm interested in seeing. Saturday, we're going to have the Give Kids the World event, which I do want to plug in real quick for people that are still listening, because I know a lot of people, if I plugged in at the end of the show, they might tune out and exit the show. We're doing an event called Coasting for Kids at Holiday World, obviously, during Hollywood Nights. It's not in correlation with it. It's not. It's a separate body. It's with Give Kids the World, but it is happening, and it's an excellent opportunity to help out those less fortunate. This is for children who are critically ill. You raise money for them, and then you get to ride. So if you're going to Holiday World and you want to participate in this, it's called Coasting for Kids again. But if you're not, we'd still really appreciate it if you can donate any money. It's just to the fundraiser, but if you want, directly to the Coaster Talk team would be great, because then it shows that we've raised this money. But if you don't, if you just want to donate to the Give Kids the World page, I don't care. I just want to raise awareness for the event itself. But you can join our team as well if you want to be an individual and join our team. And you can also donate directly to our team, which none of the money would go to us. None of the proceeds would go to us. They would go directly to Give Kids the World. But again, if you don't really want to, you just want to donate to Give Kids the World, Coasting for Kids event, I don't care. You don't have to go directly to Coaster Talk. I would appreciate going to Coaster Talk, but that's what's going on Saturday morning. We're going to have ERT. We're going to have some gatherings, some other activities going on with that. I don't remember the exact itinerary for the Give Kids the World event, but that isn't, again, in correlation with this, so it doesn't matter as much. But sticking with Holiday World's Hollywood Nights event, 2 to 4, you get a Thunderbird and Voyage photo/walkback tour. You have a snack from 3:30 to 5. You have a buffet from 7 to 9. And the Holiday World park closes. You got 8:30 to 12 ERT, Thunderbird, Voyage, Legend Raven. Online auction, Howler ERT and Firecracker ERT again. Gobbler Getaway ERT again. Which actually, now that I'm looking at it, I don't know what Daniel's on. That's a straight 2 hours right there of ERT on Gobbler Getaway. That's pretty good. You could just marathon that thing for 2 hours.
That's some practice time.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like 2 hours, and then including I think like half an hour or hour you get the night before. That's a lot of ERT on a dark ride.
I'm terrible at those, so
Yeah.
no amount of practicing is going to do any good for me.
Then at midnight the park closes, so that is the event. It looks awesome this year. Everyone that's attending, really, really hope you have a good time. Those of you that aren't, hopefully you can get out there next year, because it is an event that everyone, if you're an enthusiast, everyone has to get to, right? I mean,
Even if you're not an enthusiast,
yeah,
but if you're
non-enthusiasts
not, why are you listening to
non-enthusiasts
us
might have more
ramble?
fun, to be honest, because they're not
Actually,
nitpicking dumb things and I'm comparing it to other events you've been to. You're just having a blast, so you might actually have a better time as a non-enthusiast. But if you're an enthusiast and you're aware of this event and just haven't had the opportunity, I strongly suggest this being the event you go to next year. Like if you have to choose, I'm maybe doing Coaster Stock, Coaster Mania, Coaster Con. No, Hollywood Nights all the way, the best event.
Wait,
I think.
hold up. We don't want it to be busy. It's a terrible event. Don't go.
I hate this event. Everything the itinerary sucks. There's not enough Gobbler Getaway ERT.
That's true. Daniel put it.
Daniel put it bluntly.
Just go to Coaster Stock.
Exactly. Coaster
Ride,
Mania.
ride
Coaster
that
Mania,
Cedar
I've
Point.
heard, is an excellent event.
Yep.
Head on
And
down the causeway.
Get all that dark ride time at Cedar Point.
Exactly. Get on Steel Vengeance. You know you want to get on it. Yeah, come on. That's a great ride. Yeah. Magnum. You get on all the rides there. Totally. Voyage sucks, actually. I hate Voyage. That's one of my least favorite rides. I hate it. Piece of garbage. Piece of straight trash. All right, guys. Well, that is about it for that informal park discussion. We'll also be doing Kentucky Kingdom possibly, and Beach Bend. So I guess there's that. And you might do Indiana Beach. But there's not really
Yep.
much to talk about this. We're just doing them. I don't know. Kentucky Kingdom I've been to. I like all the coasters. I will be trying T3 again. And I would like you to be there for that. So
I
hopefully
love
you can get out to T3. I would like to ride it and for once and for all be able to look at you and go, I either love it or hate it. And then that be the end of the story.
And then I'll tell you you're wrong, and
Yeah. And watch it. I'll love it and Bob will be like, "Oh, that sucked. I hated that." That was the worst ride I've ever had on a coaster. Firebird, come to Papa. Like, I don't know.
oh no, oh God no, God no.
But yeah, I want to finally put that at rest. I like Lightning Run a lot. That's one of my favorite coasters. Storm Chaser.
Lightning
I want to ride Storm Chaser again. I really want to give it a second chance because that wasn't the greatest RMC that I'd been on by a long shot. And a lot of
No.
people say that
It was
about that
painful.
ride. So,
It was actually painful for me.
nah, not for me. It wasn't that for me. It was just not a. It wasn't as extreme. It wasn't as airtime filled as I'd imagined. Um, so yeah, I want to get back on that. Maybe I've been dulled down a little bit because of all the RMCs I've been on. I don't know. I don't feel like that's the case. I feel like it should be still great. So I don't know. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Beach Bend, get down Kentucky Rumbler. That's exciting. And then Indiana Beach for you.
Yep. Oh man, I'm so looking forward to Lost Coaster and the El Loco.
Mm-hmm.
Those, I'm so looking forward to those.
Yeah, I would really like to get up to that park. I can't fit it in the schedule, sadly, but I plan on getting there eventually, for sure. That's on my list. I'm coming, Gene. Prepare for me. Prepare for my arrival. Yep. All right. That's the informal park discussion, real quick. Moving on to the weekly poll now, which was one that I'm glad showcased that our audience is still there. I was afraid last week maybe the Six Flags question was just you guys aren't intrigued in our show anymore, but no, it was the Six Flags. You can't think of any park food at Six Flags.
There's
that's good.
just nothing good to eat. at
I was
Six
really
Flags,
hoping that
and
was it because I was like, that fits so well comedically. But what if it's just, oh crap, no one's responding to us anymore? But it's not. We got a ton of responses this week. Our first one being an interesting one, not one that I thought we'd get at all, honestly. They said the way they illuminate Twisted Timber's structure is beautiful and not as intricate as other coasters. So yeah, they have like those floodlights that shine up and kind of illuminate the structure. And I agree to some extent that it's different, because I like that like barrel roll drop, the way it like lights up. It looks cool. I don't know. It's unique, I guess, somewhat. I mean, it's not really the first wooden coaster to have that kind of lighting package, so to speak. It's just the floodlights shining up through the structure. But I mean, I think it does look good. For sure. And it definitely, like when you're like on Grizzly or on Intimidator 305 and you look over and you see it, it's cool to see like the airtime hills lit up, and it's definitely kind of cool.
Mhm.
We got a few monsters at Adventureland. Obviously that's the KCL.
KCL, man.
Yeah, that's the KCL lighting package. I assumed we were going to get a ton of those responses. Manta. That's SeaWorld Orlando. I almost said Six Flags Orlando. That wouldn't have been good.
Give them time.
Maybe that'll be the next resort destination, Six Flags Orlando. But
No, I
Manta,
mean,
yeah.
Six Flags by SeaWorld.
I don't know if I honestly am aware of Manta's lighting package. Are you at all familiar or have
No.
No, yeah, exactly. I mean, I went to the park, for crying out loud, and I don't remember.
I mean, it's kind of weird. Like that part doesn't SeaWorld usually close really early?
Yeah, I mean, at least when I've been to both SeaWorld properties, it was like 7 or 8, like not enough time. I don't know. I don't know what the lighting package looks like on this. Maybe it's Manta. I don't know which one it is. Is it Manta at SeaWorld Orlando or Manta at SeaWorld San Diego?
Oh, that's true.
Because I don't see anything on the Orlando one that looks anything special. Let me see. San Diego. Yeah, I don't really see anything on the Manta one either. On the San Diego one either. I do see Ocean Explorer. That looks cool. Do you see that as well? Are you looking at all? This looks like a
No,
cool lighting
well,
package if this was on a coaster, but it's not a coaster.
that does look cool.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything for either of those coasters, but we'll take your word for it, all right? He said it's the best.
Seems fair.
And then we got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hang time responses. Again, KCL.
KCL represent again.
Yep, KCL. I can't get enough of them. Lastly, and I agree with this one. It's a great one. I think it's very cool, very pretty. Is Fury 325s. You have that strip up the drop there. It looks really cool. It's not necessarily anything intricate or complex, or it's not KCL.
I like the colors.
Exactly. It does look good. It looks very, very, very presentable, and yeah, it's definitely a good one. And then we got lastly one from our website. Let's see that real quick, and then we will be done with the weekly poll for this week. So we got a response from our good friend Timmy, and he responded, "Hang Time has a really good one, obviously, especially when you consider the chasing lights. Knott's changes the lighting package for different events that go on at the park, like Knott's Scary Farm and Knott's Merry Farm. Another lighting package that I personally like is the rainbow lights that get shone onto the lift hill of Millennium Force."
I do like that.
I do as well. That's definitely a good one.
It's not KCL, but it's really cool looking. And
Yeah.
the thing I do like about the Millennium Force is those lights are actually synced with lighting on Frontier, not Frontier Village, the pathway.
Frontier
that goes
Trail?
up to Millennium. Yeah, is that what it's called? Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
So the lights that are like shining on the trees through the trail are actually synchronized with the lift hill.
Okay.
Cedar Point, they used to be so good at like the special lighting effects. They used to have a laser show that was phenomenal, and then they actually had a nighttime show that had lighting packages that was actually synchronized with the lighting on Power Tower. And they just don't seem to do that stuff anymore. The one thing that, I mean, KCL is hands down the one, but the one thing that I was really curious about was the coasters at Nickelodeon Universe at American Dream. It wasn't night when we were there, so we weren't able to really see it. But those also have KCL lights.
Yeah.
I really want to see what those look like. But yeah, I'm a fan of KCL.
You wouldn't know it from the way you're putting it, but yeah, I think you like KCL.
Hey James, I really like KCL lights.
Are you sure?
I do.
All right. Yeah, I think we hit most of the big ones. I can't necessarily think of one that sticks out in my mind that I haven't stated as a response. I mean, all of these are great ones.
I'm sure like tomorrow we're going to go like,
Yeah.
oh, that one.
No, I'll go to bed here in like a second. I'll be laying in bed and I'll go, oh man, fill in the blank. That's a great one.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. See, I'm so entranced with the fact that I'm going to Holiday World next weekend. I can't think clearly about anything else. I literally just thought about some rides, and Thunderbird popped into my head for some reason, and then Voyage, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to be there. Like, that literally was my thought process a second ago. So that's about what you're going to get out of me tonight. Well, if we didn't say your favorite one, you can write it in, and we'll bring it up on another show, though, for sure. Because the more the merrier. The more cool lighting packages we can find out about and think about and talk about, the better. Next week's weekly poll is a little bit more on topic of what we were going through this week, going through the runs, and that is, what decision by a park has upset you the most? So you, not your friend, not your sister, not your family, like you personally were upset by this ride, not the coaster community even, like you as a person were like, oh man, that sucks. That's awful, and you got upset about it, like Bob did. If you go back to the 20-minute mark and listen to Bob scream and yell, and then think about something that's made you that mad in the coaster community.
I mean, it's
or
pretty
industry.
obvious what mine is right now.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to need to talk about that on next week's show. I think we pretty much know what that is. I think that's pretty.
Oh wait, there's a whole week for this guy to make some kind of stupid move.
Blue Streak will be done next week by the time we get to it.
Probably.
Yeah, so if you want to answer the weekly poll, go to coastertalkpodcast.com/poll, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at coastertalkpod, because we'll post the poll there as well, or links to it. Coaster Talk Podcast on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. We got videos coming out somewhat frequently. I try. Possibly one coming out in the next couple of days. So I'll keep you guys up to date on that on the show always. If you want to contact us with any comments, questions, or concerns, go to CrushTalkPodcast.com/contact. Email the show by emailing james@CrushTalkPodcast.com or bob@CrushTalkPodcast.com. Again, if you want to discuss anything with us, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns with us, that's how you can do that. And then if you can represent the show by going to CrushTalkPodcast.com/shop and buying one of our products, we deeply appreciate it. That free marketing is awesome, and I think we have some good products for sure. So check it out, CrushTalkPodcast.com/shop. You don't have to commit to any type of purchase, but check it out at least. And then, of course, I brought up the Give Kids the World thing. I want to bring it up one more time. Donate to Give Kids the World. No, it doesn't have to necessarily be the Holiday World event. It doesn't necessarily have to be our team. I would appreciate our team, and I would appreciate the Holiday World event because that's the one we're going to. But just donate to Give Kids the World. They're a great charity. We've had Stephen Amos, the director of development from that park, on our show. It's an absolute fantastic charity and a fantastic park. So thank you so much for listening. I know this was quite the episode. I feel like I've been through an emotional whirlwind.
I have been.
Happy, sad, mad. Yeah, it's been quite the journey, and we'll see you for another one on next week's show.
Yay.
Whew. It's not often that we hit the 2-hour mark, but when it is, we hit it.
Indeed.
All right. I am ready to go to bed, so I'm sorry, guys. I gotta go.
Boo.
Yeah. Yep.
Boo.
Hollywood Nights next week, guys.
So next week's show, I don't really know what to say.
Say it.
I don't know. I have a feeling that if I commit to doing the show either Wednesday or Thursday, that seriously is going to put Kentucky Kingdom at risk. I can't do it. I can't do it Thursday night for sure. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
How would doing it Wednesday night affect
Because
Kentucky Kingdom?
I only have 2 days to do work for my customers.
You can't do the show Wednesday night? You can't, do work Wednesday as well and then just drive home? Or do it from your place like you used to? Your one of the data centers?
Well, see, that's the problem. It depends on what data center I'm at. So here's the problem, and I have this every single time that I plan something like this. Basically, Thursday's my buffer day, but I'm actually going to use my buffer day for the Kentucky Kingdom. But what always happens is I send an email out to my customers and I say, this is the day. I won't be there. And what's going to happen is Tuesday, I'm going to have customers go, oh my God, he's leaving. We need to put these tickets in now. And then all of a sudden I'm bombarded with shit I got to do. And I can't, I don't have any room to push that off.
Sure. Timmy said substitute Timmy reporting for duty. The thing is, we're having a guest on.
I know in my mind, I was thinking that wasn't going to be a big deal because I was not thinking, I knew that guest was coming. I honestly did not realize it was next week. I'd honestly thought you said this week.
No. Obviously not. No. But
So that's what makes this complicated. Like I don't want
we specifically said like the day before Hollywood Nights. And we're like, yeah. Like when we talked, not you, me, and you, but me and Chris. And then
Oh, see, yeah, I don't like. I could have swore like you had said because you you had said, oh well, no, I thought about this week, which was last week, and you said no, we just pushed it off another week.
no, that's definitely.
I swear that's what you told me.
You were speaking to some other entity, like a demon or something, that was imitating me because I never said any of the sort.
I mean I don't know. I mean I can say to do it, but if this becomes a typical situation, I'm going to have like like I'm literally not gonna be able to make an appointment or book a hotel room, and it'll be like, oh, I happen to have time, like I didn't get bombarded, so I'll see if any hotels are available type thing.
Okay. Couldn't you? I mean, there's no way you can't find one hotel on the way down there. I mean, when we were driving back up from Florida, we just stopped at a motel on the way down and got a room.
I guess I could maybe do that. But even so, it still leaves room. Like if I get bombarded, it's it's just not gonna. I'm not gonna be able to do it.
Well, I mean, getting to Kentucky Kingdom isn't necessarily like it's not going to upset you greatly, right?
I don't know. I mean, I'll live. You were the one
wanna
that
get to
really
Kentucky
wanted
Kingdom?
go. I mean, I'd like to.
Would you rather do Kentucky Kingdom or do the show? Like if I put it that way.
Kentucky Kingdom.
Okay.
Because I honestly I was looking at stuff.
All right. Good night, guys.
Well, this is the thing. Like I was legitimately like actually looking and trying to figure it out, and then like I was like, oh, in my mind, and like I understand, like I didn't talk about, but in my mind, I was thinking, oh, we'll do the show from Holiday World or something like that.
What? I'm not necessarily against that, but we can't.
But
do that
like
now,
that's the
unfortunately.
thing. Like that's why I was not. I wasn't even thinking about the show for next week, and like I was just kind of like mentally trying to put everything together, and like I got to get a hotel here and stuff, and then I was like, crap.
All right. I have to go get something
So-
to eat.
I'll leave it up to you.
You suck balls.
I mean, because I don't like I don't want to say I don't want to say James, screw you. Like I'm leaving you high and dry with a guest. I don't want to be that dick. But I also, I mean, I don't know.
You can't. You can't do that
But I
to me.
also just want to be a dick.
All right. I'm gonna end the live stream because after this I'm gonna go eat. So good night, guys.
All right, see you guys.
We'll leave you with this problem. You won't know what the solution is, guys. It's like it's a cliffhanger. You have to wait till next
you'll
week
just
to find out
find
what
out.
happened. Yeah. Bye.